extreme violence and graphic detail and may include discussions about demonology and the occult, topics that caused widespread panic during the 1980s. This content may not be suitable for children under the age of 50. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the GROGTALK with your hosts, Dan and James.
And welcome to GROGTALK. I'm James.
I'm Dan.
Where are we from today, Dan?
We are from... Boy, that's a long entry. I had to scroll all the way up there. Why do they write so much?
I gave you the whole dissertation this time.
You did. I read it. It was interesting.
That's why I left it for you, because I thought it was more than the normal stuff we have. So there you go.
It was. It was. We're the 73rd layer of the abyss, but there's hope that we're going to get out, right?
Yep, there is hope.
Maybe by the spring. It's called the Wells of Darkness. This layer was a rocky plain. I would say it was. I mean, they're giving us a past history here. A rocky plain illuminated by a dim blue sun. It had scattered elevations surrounding pools of a black liquid connected with one another by marble walkways. At the top of a higher mound, the crumbling fortress of Overlook. The Overlook, like as in The Shining?
The hotel?
That's right. Is Jack Nicholson there?
He's the caretaker. Hey, by the way, I have to... there's a little bit of...
You got to be kidding me.
There you go.
I meant to tell you that before the show about the beard, because I'm groaning at... What are you getting? We got to restart the show.
No, we're not restarting the show. I'll cut this out for the podcast, but you won't...
Thanks.
Yeah, but
you're going to know.
But the one person who's on right now may have noticed that, so there you go.
No, but what you're going to do is you're going to put it as the screenshot on YouTube. I don't trust you for a second. Well, I'm growing a beard. I want to be like Bjorn. So I'm growing out my beard. Oh. And so that's some of the risk, right? I failed to save. My beard failed its saving throw against oatmeal.
Against oatmeal, yeah.
It's a part of what deity or demon does oatmeal worship?
Jubilex, of course.
Obviously, of course. So this is inhabited by specters and wraiths, providing a good view of the entire layer. But it's used...
Now, that's interesting, because what's the problem with specters and wraiths?
Specters and wraiths... Okay, don't tell me. This is like a quiz.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Specters... wait. Yeah, well, they're undead.
Yes.
It's got to be something where they're undead. What are they doing in the abyss as undead? Is that right?
Why are they in the abyss? Because what do we know about specters?
I know that they look like a middle-aged man in their drawing. Is that right?
That's right. They didn't pay for colors, right? If you look on it on page 89, he looks like an old man. He looks like the old librarian from Poltergeist, the husband of the one who's in the beginning, the librarian.
Yeah, or like a member of a rock band, because doesn't he have? He's got long hair.
Right, like I would have if I was a specter. If I let my hair grow out, he's got nothing on the top. Yeah, he looks like a '70s rocker who's in 2010. Yeah,
right.
But his alignment is what I was focused on.
Yeah,
his alignment is lawful evil.
Yes,
this is a chaotic evil area, and I thought we remember from our. Now let's go back to the lemurs, right? Which they could become, if they're lucky, right? They get promoted to being specters, if I remember correctly. Isn't that what we were talking about? Yes. So, after being in hell for a certain time, lemurs will be chosen to form wraiths or specters. Here there are wraiths and specters, which came from hell.
Yeah,
you see?
this is very. Yeah, you know who could answer these questions? I think Ed Greenwood. Don't you think? He's the
Yes.
kind of guy. He would like you could put on Twitter. You could ask. He'd have, but of course, I assume it would be a Forgotten Realms answer.
Right.
Uh, but yeah, no, that is very interesting. I mean, I'll tell you, I like this though because then you get to create some sort of backstory as to why this happened. Right? Perhaps lemurs were enslaved and brought to this lair. Right? Why not?
Well, there is, and I'm not an expert on future lore, but I know later there is this concept of the blood war between the hells and the abyss, because basically in some twisted way the lawful evil people are keeping the rest of the multiverse from being destroyed by the chaos forces, as that's it. And they're constantly at war with each other because the demons just keep coming, that kind of thing. So this could be that part of it. I don't know.
Are the lawful neutrals and the lawful goods and the lawful evils all together? Is this like a big lawful union?
I think there may be some of it, but it's primarily the demons and devils who fight each other. Because I think the other part to that is, kind of answering that question: if evil's so powerful, why haven't they just taken over everything?
Yeah.
Well, because they're fighting each other. They kind of
Like the orcs.
Right. Yeah.
The orcs would take over. It wasn't for the fact that the bone crushers are unhappy with the vile rune or whatever. So. Okay, no, this.
So anyway, I just wanted to point that out because we want to tie it back to our shows.
No, I'm glad you pointed this out. And it seems to me what's happened here then clearly is that in this war, that some of these lemurs, I don't know if lemurs are like the front line dudes.
Right.
Or I just assume they just like move around aimlessly like in a video game. They just kind of, bounce and you just got to avoid them. I don't know the answer to that, but I think they've been captured. This is because this was a prison, isn't this a prison?
Yes, that's what they talked about. It's a prison.
So there you go, James. Doesn't it answer itself? They were lemurs who have been captured in war. They're prisoners of war, and they've actually, for some strange reason, I guess they've just developed. I guess you can still be promoted, even within the prisoner of war camp, and that's why you've got specters. What a race alignment. Is that
lawful
also
evil?
Well, let's face it. James, let's say you are a chaotic evil magic user, which I think actually, despite what you said, is in fact what you would be.
If I had unlimited power, it would be very difficult not to be chaotic evil.
Right.
I will say that. That would be hard to not completely drift to that side.
I understood. And let me ask you, who do you want working for you underneath you? Chaotics?
Right.
Or lawfuls?
Right.
Clearly lawfuls, right?
Right. I agree.
I don't think the chaotics want the chaotics underneath them.
I want a big L, small e. I want lawful evil.
Exactly.
Not
lawful paren evil.
Right. I don't want lawful evil. I want lawful evil.
You really want lawful neutral.
Right.
Is lawful neutral the perfect hireling?
Right.
It seems to me.
Right.
Because whatever you tell him to do, he doesn't care. Like, burn that village.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Is it in the law? Yes. Okay.
Yes. You do right. Our contract is you do whatever I tell you to do.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's like Forrest Gump. No, I think he's lawful good, isn't he?
Yes, he's lawful good.
Okay.
Now you're going to make him lawful. Anyway, you're right. But that could be an answer. So again, this is where I just wanted to tie in that we at least know our layers and our different realms of the outer planes. So go ahead. I apologize for segueing.
No, that was fine. I think we're done with that. I mean, there's a lot here. I mean, it's basically it's a prison, and who built these walkways? I always wonder about the general contractors of the abyss.
It sounds like the Clerks discussion. Did you ever see Clerks?
Oh, that was an amazing movie.
Right. So where they're talking about the poor contractors who were killed on the Death Star that they were building.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, that's right.
All the independent. Yeah, I know. You just you were the low bidder.
Yeah.
So you're like whatever. You're just
Bob's Gun and Death Star making corporation, and you got the low bid contract.
Yeah, delivering death since 24/17 to a local galaxy near you. Yeah, and you're just gone. But
Well, I do like the last part. One particular prison was the Demon Lady. Again, your famous Demon Lady. Shami Amore, the Lady of Delights and former consort of
Demogorgon.
your other favorite.
And I love that. Said to be one of the very few who truly understood his double personality. You know, we were talking about Orcus, because, you know, we had that drawing of Orcus.
Right, that politically correct picture from Dragon.
Right. Well, remember, I didn't even notice the nude woman.
Yeah.
I thought Orcus was hilarious because he's just sitting there, that big gut. And so, it didn't ever cross my mind that Orcus has a personality. You know, I just assumed he's just like, you know,
character. Right. He's just had one thing, destroy. Yeah.
Right, but he's got feelings, he's got emotions, he's got a personality.
That's right.
And so apparently Demogorgon is, you know, James, you haven't seen the other side of Demogorgon.
I've only seen the one side of his double personality. Exactly. So.
Right. It's always the wife that's the apologist, right, or the lady. Right? Hey, you haven't seen the other side of him.
Stand by your demon lord. That's
right.
It.
Everyone else is like, that guy's a jerk. No, he's not.
That's a tough job. That would be a tough job.
How do you does he have a pickup line, Demogorgon? Like, does he have to win her over?
I don't know. That's good. That's Demon Lord Lady courting. That could be one of the episodes. I guess I have to write that down. The romance practices of demon lords and ladies.
Well, we needed something for our Valentine's special coming up, right?
Yes.
Another 5 hour.
Another 5 hours of.
Since we didn't save any material. For 20, right? In 5 hours, you pretty much used up all of your material.
Right, that's it. I mean, how much could you have in there? And especially, we did go down the, what was that? The Aphrodite, priest of Aphrodite. So that priest of Aphrodite. So yeah, that's good stuff. I like it.
Well, I'm hoping for a Carlos Lysing incomprehensible death Valentine special.
Oh, that would be great.
Right, with the clerics and a paladin. We could have a cleric and a paladin of Aphrodite.
Right.
He might not like that because it's not Greyhawk, but...
Well, I think there's a god of love. There's got to be one for Greyhawk. We just don't know it.
Right. Okay.
Well, very good. So that's where we're at. It's, black liquid. It doesn't really say what the black liquid is, but we're near a crumbling fortress, which is super exciting. Now we're on to announcements. Let me check my... I did start putting bookmarks, which you commended me on, which I thank you very much. So I'm going to continue to try to put them on to help people if they're on the YouTube that they can see. So announcements. GrogCon, we're still hoping for April,
Give me a percentage chance.
I give it a 40% chance.
Wrong. 20%.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. So I guess it's 30. If the hive mind, if you combine it, 30% chance. I'm rolling.
Yeah.
Here it is. This is whether GrogCon is happening. 60. It's not happening.
Well, the things against it obviously is it's not our convention.
True.
That's the first part. The second part is the if people don't feel comfortable, and more importantly, if we don't feel comfortable, we're not going to.
Oh, you mean after that incident with you last year at the convention?
That's right. Yeah, we don't want a repeat of that. There's going to be some very strict guidelines on what's going to happen this year.
Social distancing. James needs social distancing. Yeah. We imposed social distancing rules on James before the pandemic.
And masks. And face shields. More importantly, face shields. You had face shields.
That's number 2. That's okay. What's number 3? I guess would be the pandemic.
Right. If I'm going to be very curious because it could work out perfectly if there's enough vaccines and enough people to take them. That we could be like Forrest Gump after the storm. We could be the only convention, the first post-pandemic 1E convention, which would be amazing. But it may be too early. So we'll have to see. It's going to play it by ear. Let me say hi to Sir David Thompson. The Chamberlain is on.
The Chamberlain.
From Australia.
The gibbering mouth.
Gibbering mouth. He is a gibbering. Would you consider an online convention? I would say probably. If it was really going to be another 8 months, if we were going to go back to the October and it wasn't going to be delayed a month or so, and this is where we'd have to talk to Craig. I don't know the mechanics of a convention if you delay it for a month, or is it one of those things because of travel plans and this type of thing that you have to kick it back another 6 months. So my opinion would be, I haven't talked to Dan, is if it was 6 months, we would do an online convention. Sure, we would do that. What do you think?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Yeah.
I am here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
It would be very low key, but we would do that, sure.
I mean, I guess my thought is, so how is an online convention different from just playing online periodically, other than that you're doing it in a more, in a shorter time period? And what I mean by that is, with a convention, the fun thing about a convention, it seems to me, is that, like, for example, we had a really fun pickup game with Carlos. Remember that? And that's the kind of stuff that you remember, that you're just standing around and you ask Carlos, can you run a game? And, and Carlos is like that person in high school that would always be walking around campus with a basketball.
Yeah.
Just in case, like, during lunch in the cafeteria, someone wanted to play basketball, they were ready.
Exactly.
Carlos, is like, yeah, he just whips out an adventure and he runs it. And so that, those are the kind of things that are fun. And with online, I mean, we've got Brian is running a campaign online, right?
Yeah, actually, and David's about to start one, and we have a Play by Discord post one, which started, which is pretty awesome. I'm not sure who's running that. I didn't look it up in time. So we have a lot of things going on, but I guess what Shannon's idea is an exclusive convention. So what I think an online convention would be is the difference would be not only would you have schedules for games, but you would set up like a virtual pub meeting, where people would get together and social events that would be exclusive to the conventioneers. And then that would be the opportunity to do it. It would be, you'd virtualize the things that you would do. You'd virtualize not sleeping. We would all sleep in sleeping bags or something uncomfortable.
Yes.
You would eat bad food and feel nauseous. You'd show yourself throwing up from the eating down in Kissimmee's great restaurants they have down there in the buffets, that kind of thing.
Boy, I really miss the in-person. You're selling it. That should be like the commercial.
The weird smells and sounds in your hotel room, the neighbors who don't realize it's 2 a.m. and you'd like to go to sleep. Yeah.
Right. Is that yeah, I'm really missing it now. Is that the Angry Monk? Is online there?
Yes.
The Angry Monk, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Angry Monk, I don't know if the Angry Monk ever got out of 1E, but like you go on the site and they're talking about 1E, and I got to tell you, I think it's like 2013 or something, and there's comments. You know who you'll find? Yes, the Angry Monk.
Wow, wonderful.
He's there. He's been there.
Well, and you could run a pub quiz. You could do a quiz on, I don't know, burrowing mammals, and is this a burrowing mammal now, or gnome bingo? There's a lot of things. So I think the downside to it is, I know we're going to have to give a little dirty secret. What was so great about the last convention is we didn't do a whole lot of work.
We stressed a lot, though. See, that's the problem, is that, I didn't want to do a lot of work, but the less work I did, the more I stressed.
Right.
And the more I stressed, the more paralysis I had. And it really just got
worse.
It
was painful up till the day of the event. You were getting to the point, I was like, what have I done to you? I may have broken Dan, so...
I was this close to being.
You were about to say, "That's it, I'm done."
And I'm usually just this close, and so I didn't have far to go. I was pretty much.
But just remember how exciting it was. So I will say with that question. And he said that's him. That is him. He's the one who's the poster. So.
Yeah.
I would say I like the idea. It really would be. We would need a lot of help. That's all, because I don't mind coordinating it. We're not as experienced with the event. I don't want to charge people for it, but there would have to be some way to make it feel like it's a convention. Because if not, to Dan's point, then it's just having games that we schedule. So okay, we'll think about that. But we're hoping that it's going to happen in the April timeframe. And I did mention Grognard's Guild Online again. David looks like he's going to start up a game. Brian's doing a game. I think Josh is every once in a while, or Ed is. There's just, go out to our Discord. If you're not playing 1E and want to play 1E, there's games out there. And there's also a meetup. I play on Wednesdays, and one of our new patrons who we're going to give a title to joined us this Wednesday. So super exciting times. And this all happens because of our patrons, which we really appreciate that. So,
can I mention we have a patron out in Seattle, don't we? Is it John?
Yeah, we do have one in Seattle.
And I believe I've been reading his blog. If I've got this all right,
I think you're probably right. But
Razor blog. He's been running a 1E game for his 2 young kids, and I'm planting a seed. How awesome it would be to get his 2 young kids together,
right?
With our latest, I think it was another John.
Another John, yep.
His 2 kids. There you go. There's your party of 4,
right?
Which is of course the ideal number. I'm just saying, run a game for those 4. Just planting a seed.
Well, we've got to get the next generation going. I agree. So, well, thank you, sir. Thank you. So we have more people joining the Empire. So let's do this, right? We're gonna add a number of folks to the Empire from all over the globe. So we're super excited about this. Well, I'm super excited.
I see. We're ranked in Hungary.
We are ranked in Hungary, but we don't. Which is we've moved from Belgium to Hungary. It's crazy.
We hit the top 200 in the U.S. I think.
We did finally.
For a brief moment.
For a moment, there were only 199 shows with Dan and James as hosts better than us.
We're like a comet. We just briefly.
Shooting star. We came about. But, one day we may crack the top 100. We can't be worried about if our own a prophet is never loved in their hometown. We just have to.
Oh, very wise, sir.
Thank you. So we don't have to worry about that. We're spreading the good news of 1E throughout the world.
Indeed.
That's what we have to do.
All right.
So we're ready to give a title to, this is our oldest one. Corey Langford is claiming Ottawa.
Oh, fantastic!
In the capital city, if I remember correctly.
Go Senators!
It's kind of like it's like the Washington of Canada.
Or is Washington the Ottawa of the U.S.?
Probably, but we're focused on America. America first, yay, go us, and everything is related to us.
Damn right.
Everything's related to us. So
we are the center of the map, aren't we?
My map, absolutely.
Is that true? So, like in Europe, I guess they buy maps, and I guess Europe's in the center, right? And Asia's in the center.
Yeah, well, I would hope so. I mean, if I lived there, that's what I would do. But here in America, it's America, and then all these, like the old maps from Columbus, there would be serpents and this, whatever.
Yeah.
Does it really matter?
Right.
We call the middle of the people who lived in New York, they're the pretentious LA. They call the center of the country flyover country, and they're like whatever. That's how America feels about the rest of the world. It's right. And you wonder why they call us ugly Americans.
Yeah, New York upstate is like you just step 1 foot, I think, north of Manhattan, and you're upstate.
Oh yeah. That's when I lived in New York City. Well, as we said, I lived in Queens, so the city was Manhattan, and the Hicks lived north of Westchester. When you get past Westchester, that's all woods, and that's Last of the Mohicans. You were looking for Daniel Day-Lewis up there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. What am I rolling, sir?
You are rolling a D30 divided by 2. This is for Corey Langford.
Okay. I have a 27 divided by 2, be 13.5. Rounded up is a 14.
Overlord. The Overlord. That's good. We have
an Overlord?
If we do, I don't think, it's been pretty rare. So that's good. All right. Okay, a D30.
Straight up D30?
Yep.
It's an 8.
2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6. Munificent.
Wow. The Overlord Munificent.
All right. Another D30. Is that multi-beneficial? What is munificent?
Yeah, I was going to say, do we know what right, would be? What is I don't know.
Municipal.
Municipal, well, that's city, right?
Yeah. I think it's multiple beneficial. I don't know. I'm guessing. Munificent. Let's see. A gift, a sum of money larger or more generous than is usual. It's generous, very generous.
It's generous. That's great. 25. Is it straight up? Yeah, well, straight up it's 25.
Straight up 20. I'm sorry, 25.
25.
Yep, hold on. Sorry. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. Lordship. Munificent lordship. Now D15.
3.
Duke.
Duke.
The Duke of Ottawa. Oh, and now D60, please.
Okay. It is a 32.
32. Heroic. Oh, that's good.
Heroic.
This is a good title. Wish I could spell. And then the last, of course, now we'll bring it with demonic overlord of, something like that. So a D30, please.
The generous slayer.
That's right. Butcher.
11.
Oh, could be.
Butcher.
2, 4, 6,
he feels bad when
8,
he's done.
10. Butcher. Good job.
What did you say?
Butcher. It's Butcher.
It is Butcher?
Heroic Butcher.
And he's also the munificent butcher.
That's right. He's generous in his butchery.
He chops it all up. Well, didn't we have? What did we have? The pole. We didn't have the flesh pole.
That's right. Oh, yeah. That's
He supplies it.
That's. He chops up.
He's working the carnival.
Ah,
The
that's
munificent
Butcher.
See, I like munificent there. I like munificent butcher. You like heroic butcher? I mean, there's so many.
Munificent Butcher is awesome.
I like, yeah. The Butcher of Ottawa. It sounds like he's a chapter in a book on serial murderers. Chapter 7. Serial Murderers of Canada. Chapter 7.
That's
The
awesome.
Butcher of Ontario.
Serial Murders of Canada.
1962 to 1964.
Because, we think of Canadians as very friendly, right? To a fault. But Serial Murders of Canada would be amazing. You think it would be a short book, but apparently it's got full of entries.
Right? We were so stunned because he was Canadian.
That's right. We never would have guessed. That's right.
What? I mean, we all thought it was that American dude.
Yeah. Clearly, we have our full of them. I mean,
right? I mean, we have female serial killers,
children serial killers, animal serial killers. We have everyone. Everyone's a serial. If you're not a serial killer, you're doing that.
Yeah, it clearly is. Look, you're just dropping everything but Butcher of Ontario at this point. I mean, you can call him whatever you want, Munificent Butcher, because I think that's funny. He's generous.
Right. He's. Oh, that's awesome. All right. So
that's really the apologist. We were talking about that. Like, okay, I know he's a butcher, but he's so giving.
That's right. He is so wonderful in his generosity and his kindness.
He's like Demi Gorgon.
Yeah. What was that like? It just reminded me of Apocalypse Now with Marlon Brando, where the guy's apologizing for him. Oh, when Dennis Hopper is apologizing, he's got all these dead people. This is not him. There's dead people everywhere.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
All right.
All right. So we are now ready to present to, by the powers vested in us, by us, the Lord, the Emperor of GROGTALK.
Let me get down.
Oh, I'm going to print it for you. Yes.
Oh, sorry, and I talked all over you. You'd think after 2 years I wouldn't talk over you.
All right, so let's start over again. By the powers vested in us, by us, as the emperors of the Grog Empire.
No, stop. I'm not that. Where are you? There it is. Sorry. Don't give me that look. Do I have oatmeal in my beard again?
No,
Why are you looking at me like that?
No, if you had oatmeal, I wouldn't tell you. You look fine.
You wouldn't. You're pissed now. All right.
No, I'm not pissed.
I see it.
All right. So now we will bestow the following title to Corey Langford. Corey Langford, you are the Overlord, His Munificent
Lordship Duke, Heroic Butcher of Ottawa.
Congratulations, sir. That is wonderful. Good for you, sir. So I'm sorry for those who live in Ottawa. You have a homicidal maniac running your place.
It was a song by the band Destruction called Mad Butcher, and so I just kind of maybe that could be his theme song. So, all right.
Next one. Rocks aren't people. His real name is Thomas, but he's come to us as Rocks Aren't People. He's very excited to be a patron, so we thank him for that. And he is claiming Mercer County, New Jersey. So that's good. Our northeast corridor is filling up quite nicely. So we need a D15, sir.
You got it. And 11.
Another Captain General.
The Captain General.
We have our fill of them, but the original Captain General, of course, is Brian from the Appalachia realm. His now D30.
19.
Illustrious.
Captain General, illustrious.
Let's see.
I tell you, I'm starting to learn that the last one's always the best.
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
Another D30, please.
11.
Majesty.
Majesty.
Now a D15.
10.
10. Baron.
Baron.
Now a D60.
I don't know why I'm simply repeating everything you say.
Because it's fun.
Oh, okay. 44.
44. Oh, 44. Blood letter.
Yes.
A blood letter. Awesome. We haven't
This
had
is
that.
like, yeah, this is like, it's a bloodbath today, isn't it? We got the butcher.
Well, now it will be something. It will not be. It will not be slaughter. It'll be something like, I don't know, protector of. Because he's
Right.
All right. So now a D30. This is.
Maybe he's a doctor.
That's right. You leech
Blood
with
letter,
leeches.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, leeches.
I like that.
12.
12. 15, 14, 13, 12. Dominator. Blood letter.
Blood letter dominator.
Blood letter dominator. There
That
you go.
sounds like one of Demigorgon's ladies, right?
Oh, blood letter dominator of Mercer County, New Jersey. All right. That's good. That is, you know what's great about these titles? You have something to hang your hat on.
You're somebody. You're like, hey, I'm the blood letter dominator.
Right.
I see it there. I am ready.
You can hang your hat on. So this title we now give to Thomas, a.k.a. Rockstar and People. We bestow this as the Emperors of the Grog Emperor. Today, sir, you will now be known as the Captain General, His Illustrious Majesty.
Baron the blood letter dominator of Mercer County, New Jersey.
Congratulations, sir. Welcome to the Empire. All right.
You know, like some of the names are getting like, a bit gruesome when it's like blood letter, and we're just like, yeah. Moving on.
Moving on.
He's a blood letter.
Yeah,
Okay.
Maybe he'll work himself up to a slaughterer.
Yep, and then a butcher.
Yeah, slaughterer sounds more random, right? You're just
Yes.
just killing everyone.
Chaotic.
Right.
Right.
Butcher, there is this idea of precision.
You're professional.
Right.
You're like Jack the Ripper.
Right. Exactly.
You're a professional.
There's
right.
art. There's an art form to it.
Yes.
My quick aside. My father-in-law is a professor of anatomy, and so obviously cutting up cadavers is something he's done. When he comes over, when we've had him for the holidays, and he cuts the turkey,
Oh.
it is there's nothing left on it. It is like artwork. How he always complains because my knife is too dull.
Right.
So he is always like sharpening. It is. When he cleans off the parts, there is nothing left on it. It's really shocking how well he does it.
So can I ask you, do you forget to get the knives sharpened, or you just not care, or then do you forget and then like he goes to get the knives and you're like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah. Well, he just knows. He tolerates me because I've married his daughter. So
Right.
and
Right.
the
Yes.
alternative would be she would have been with him. So
Right. So he's being nice to you
Right.
to be nice to his daughter.
yes, I think so.
Got it.
I think
okay. Now, don't you find that disturbing though? That like, so are you like, this is amazing. Look at this work, or are you then like eating this turkey like, okay, it's like a cadaver?
Yes, both. I mean, because again, I'm happy because then I don't have to do it, and I don't have to spend 10 minutes hacking at this turkey because I am a slaughterer. I slaughter. Some people are really good at cutting the turkey.
Yes.
I just kind of hack at it because I'm between them and eating. Because they wait till everything else is done,
Right.
and they pull out the turkey and they go, "Okay, go cut it." So then everyone's waiting on me. So I'm trying to blast through it. He takes his time, and that's the scary part. There's no emotion as he's cutting this turkey.
He's just, that, and what you're saying is, that's Corey Langford, the overlord of his lordship, Duke Heroic, Butcher of Ottawa.
Right.
He's taking his time,
Right.
very methodical.
His pulse probably hasn't gone over 50.
So
the whole time.
basically, like, all that's left of the orc is like literally like a bag of bones.
Right, yeah. Not even the sinews are connecting. It's just
Right.
literally, I've never seen it. Like even the wishbone, there's nothing around the bones. It's.
Right.
I have to take a picture. I haven't seen him in a while, obviously, because of the
Right.
pandemic. But we will have to do that.
Well, that's like my wife when we eat chicken or something. You know, I've got a bunch of stuff left over. Her plate comes back and it's the bones.
Right.
And then obviously all that stuff we know from the butcher goes to the flesh pole. Okay.
The Festival of Flesh Pole, which is another Pseudo Undead song that we're working on, which is again
Flesh pole.
Yeah, the Flesh Pole Festival.
Ride the flesh pole.
Ride the Flesh Pole. Well, there's Ride the Cockatrice, right? That is the that is the other song that we there's just a lot of
Ride the cockatrice. Yes.
Well, it's not Ride My Cockatrice, which would be a little more.
It's not right.
A little more graphic. So, with that prelude, we now do get to bestow a title to someone we are very. By the way, this is a pro tip. John Beback has claimed Arizona and North Sonora. Sonora. Not Sonora, Sonora. That's exactly right. He will show me what he could do. That's another good story. Now, typically at his patron level, we do not give out states at his patron level. But what did John do? And you've seen this already, and I don't know if did I post this on Twitter yet, but John sent us this, and I'm holding up.
Oh my gosh, you actually have it.
I have this, and for those who are listening to the podcast, he sent us a license plate from Arizona that says D&D Forever. So he's a very smart man. By bribing us with the D&D Forever, be more than happy to give him whatever title he wants. So that is super cool. So thank you, John, for that. And he wrote a letter. Go ahead.
Can we sell that on eBay for some money?
I'm sure, or we could just tell people where to get theirs and print theirs. But it says, Dan and James, I thought you would get a kick out of this. Keep up the good work. You are really helping out the D&D community. Thank you, John. Tucson, Arizona. P.S. There's probably no chance that the owner of the car I removed this plate from while in my Walmart parking lot will even heard a GROGTALK or watch his YouTube. So it's cool. So I agree with you. Yep. So there we go. I really appreciate that.
And can I comment on that? So when I saw that, because you sent me a copy of that letter, so I was led to believe that he had in fact pinched this from somebody's car, and like this was some sort of felony or something, then right? Because I'm lawful neutral, as you know, and I'm also right. I head up at least on radio, I play a lawyer, and on podcasts I play a lawyer. Well, so I head up the legal department here. And so I was a little concerned, but so it looks like that is not what has happened. He has not actually pinched somebody's license.
We really don't know, do we?
Well, it's not an official license plate anyway, right? I mean, it's like you'd buy it
maybe.
Okay.
I like the idea that you were worried about that. That also made my day.
I was. I mean, are we in possession of like hot goods?
Possibly. Well, that's this is where I know ignorance is not a defense. But I had first of all, I did not ask for it. I did not know it was stolen. I know he infers that he stole it, but that could be clearly humor, just a tongue in cheek. So that would be my defense if that was that. And of course, we would be happy to turn it over if someone made a claim that was legitimate.
Right. Okay.
So
sounds good to me.
All
right.
It's not like
you thought about this.
I thought about it in the context of the note was added. We're not sure who to get the note from, so that's what I'm going with. I don't know if it has any legal standing or it doesn't make any sense.
The standard to convict you is quite high. I mean, it's beyond a reasonable doubt. So I think there's you've introduced enough doubt there. Right,
and also I would turn you in. I would be the first in the prisoner dilemma. I would be saying that Dan orchestrated this first.
It wouldn't take. It would be just like a second. You'd be like, "Yes, I will. I'll take the plea deal. I will turn state's evidence immediately."
Right. In fact, it would be which of us get there faster.
Right.
We'd both get to the station and be like, Dan, what are you doing here? Oh, no, I wasn't going to come and snitch on you. No.
Actually, what they would do is that they would just use both of our testimony to convict both of us.
Right, that's right.
Yes, Dan has said James did it. James said Dan did it. You're both guilty.
I'm here for the plea deal. There's no plea deal. I want a plea deal. No, we don't need a plea deal. You both said you did it. No.
I thought you confess. And then you get the plea deal.
That's right.
That's not the order?
No.
Oh, okay. Oops.
I want to talk to my lawyer. Who's a lawyer? Dan. Oh, there you well, explains it all.
Oh, boy.
So now we are ready to give Mr. B back his title. So if you would please roll a D15.
Okay. 29 divided by 2 is 14.5. Rounded up is 15.
Master. The master. Go ahead. Keep going, please.
What am I
D30.
25.
25. Matchless. His matchless.
Master matchless.
His master matchless. Oh, another alliteration. I like that. Another D30.
11.
Majesty. Wow, this is awesome.
Oh. Master matchless majesty.
Hey, you see, you give us good stuff, you get good titles so far. I said it. D15, please.
We're all rooting for another M. Is there another M on there?
There is one M.
Okay, come on. Big money. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Come on, come on.
No. Close, you're 2 off. Marquis was on here, but you got Earl.
Earl.
Well, we haven't had too many Earls, so that's good. Now a D60.
Okay.
The master is matchless majesty Earl. The
53.
Oh, geez, 53, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54, 50. Unyielding. That's awesome. And then the final, now he's going to be something, the D30.
Okay. 25.
20, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Terror.
Terror. Terror.
The terror of Arizona and northern Sonora. That's
License plates have gone missing all throughout.
He isn't
the
terror.
license plate bandit.
People are driving without proper identification.
Where's my D&D license plate?
It's such a horror.
Can I ask you, I have a question for you.
Yes.
When you're in the grocery store or wherever, and you see somebody wearing, say, a D&D shirt, they have a D&D tattoo, anything like that, remember, has it happened, and did you say anything to the person if it did?
No, and no.
Got it.
No, it's I don't believe it's ever happened.
Mine would be yes and yes.
Okay, well, that's awesome. I think you should, but I'm not. I don't know. It depends what it is. A tattoo, probably not, because they
Tattoo. I saw a tattoo. I saw a D&D tattoo, and I asked the guy, and yep, we launched into a discussion.
Oh.
And I saw a woman wearing a shirt that said, they had the 220s.
Right.
And said, yes, they're natural.
Right.
And I talked to her. My wife was around. I wasn't like, it was normal conversation.
So you're just approaching women because they have a shirt. So you just strike up conversations with women just because of the outfits that they wear.
I was like, yeah, I like what you're wearing. Was that wrong?
So I think the part of your legal specialization is HR law, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
so if you were a client of yours, what would you tell yourself? I'm approaching women based on staring at their chest and what they're wearing on their shirt.
Right, at the grocery store.
And entitling myself to talk to them.
Just coming up to that would be wrong. Okay, I understand.
I'm not saying, I'm saying you as a professional, if you were going to give yourself advice, what would you say?
That would explain why I was trespassed out of there, I guess. That would explain why I can only shop at Winn-Dixie now.
With a mask. Well, now you have a mask on, so you can go to lots of places and that people wouldn't,
That's true, they won't know me. Well, we've talked about that. It's the time, I think this is the time to rob places, isn't it?
Right, exactly.
You walk in with a mask, they're like, oh yeah, that dude's just got a mask on.
Well,
he's so safe. He's so
5 years from now, you're going to be wearing a mask, so you can talk to people. So
That's right.
And just stare at them. It's awesome. So, Mr. B back. Again, thank you for your generous gift. It will be, if we ever come back here, assuming this pandemic ever ends, it will be put into the shelf of honor. So, John Beback, we are now ready to bestow you your title. You are the Master, His Matchless Majesty Earl.
The unyielding terror of Arizona and northern Sonora.
Congratulations, sir. All right. We got it.
The unyielding terror.
The unyielding terror. We've got a few more minutes because then we've got to get Rob on. I think I think we've been
yes.
talking about this, and we weren't sure if we were going to actually bring it on, but I think unfortunately, I think our audience needs to know what's happening behind the scenes.
I think they deserve to know, frankly. I mean, it was a very unfortunate situation, and you're right. We were going to deal with it just privately with Rob, but you're right. I mean, there are patrons. They're with us on this ride,
Right.
And they deserve to know about it.
So he'll be on in a little bit. So we need to keep moving on. So Michael Burke, Michael is claiming Austin, Texas. So let's start rolling for Michael.
Okay.
So if you could give me a D15, please.
That is a 29, so that would be a 15.
Oh, so we have another master. We have double master.
Okay.
A D30.
19.
19, 16, 17. Illustrious. I think we already had illustrious. That's good. We like the illustrious. A D30.
26.
26, 30, 29, 28, 27, 27. Lordship. D15.
12.
12. 15, 14. Sir. Very nice. And then a D60.
25.
25. 30, 29, 27, 28, 27. Okay. Adroit?
What? Adroit.
Adroit, yeah.
Adroit.
Adroit, yeah.
Oh, he's very nimble.
He's nimble. That's right.
He's high dex.
He's got high dex. Adroit. It's good. You'll be saying that word. And then a D30 to finish it off.
24.
30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Scourge. We have another Scourge. The Adroit Scourge of Austin, Texas. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, but it's super cool.
Well, few of them do. These are not meant to roll off the tongue.
Got double master. Exactly. Okay. So, again, thank you, Mike, for your patronage. And as the Grog Emperors, we now bestow you the following title, Michael Burke. You are the master, his illustrious lordship, sir.
The Adroit Scourge of Austin, Texas.
Congratulations, sir. And then last but not least, we have Sonny Faljean. I assume that's how you say his name. Faljean. Faljean. That sounds right. That sounds appropriate. So Sonny started playing with us on Wednesday, which is super cool. So he's playing a thief, and he hasn't died yet. So good for him. He's one session in, and he hasn't been killed as a first edition thief. That's pretty awesome.
Did you make him roll up hit points, just the old-fashioned way? Just roll that D6?
Tom's pretty merciful, unfortunately. I think he lets him roll twice and pick the highest one or something like that.
Okay.
He wants them to stay. Because I remember the last thief we had that you rolled up. Someone came to our game. He was second level, I think. He rolled what, 3 hit points, 2?
Well, no, I think. Are you thinking of the Ranger?
No, that was the Ranger. But then there was the other guy who literally was there for playing 20 minutes. Remember, he played 20.
Yes, he left. Well, he died, and then he left, and he never came back.
Right, he ghosted. He totally ghosted us right after that.
Yeah.
So just to remember, we had someone came, we never played, and he shows up. That seems like a nice guy. Rolls up his character. I think he rolled his hit points. He's like, "Oh, do I get max hit points?" We're like, "No."
Yeah.
He has like 2 hit points or 3 hit points. He dies horribly within the first hour.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, he went into combat a little too much, I think. So
Right.
yeah.
And then he got upset, had to go to the bathroom, and that was it. He just left.
Well, at least we got a player. We got his player's handbook. Yeah, it's kind of like, why are you going to the bathroom in your player's handbook? Yeah, just some reading material.
Something to read. I'm going to be in there for a bit.
Right. It's like, man, that dude's been in there for a while.
Yeah, is he coming back? Nope.
We go into the bathroom, the window's open.
Yeah, it was.
The little window above there is open.
That was hilarious. All right, one more title. So a D15.
Okay. 6.
6. Chancellor.
Another Chancellor.
We like Chancellors. Okay, D30. We got to move. They got to move this thing along here. 14. Stupendous. We never had a stupendous. I like it. D30.
18.
Sufficiency. Another alliteration. Stupendous sufficiency.
He's sufficient.
He is. And a D15.
11.
Baronet. A baronet? That's good. D60.
Wait, he's a baronet. Is that? Okay.
Baronet's lesser than a baron. I know.
Oh, okay. He's not a female baron.
No.
Okay.
That's a baroness.
Okay, thank you. 53.
53, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55, 54. Unyielding. Another unyielding. Something about the unyielding. And then a D30, please.
28.
Sword. Oh, I'm a sword. Sword of Staten Island.
Sword?
Yeah.
The sword?
He's the sword of Staten Island.
Oh, very nice.
I like that. That's pretty cool.
That could be an adventure, like the Sword of Staten Island. You gotta find it. You gotta like search Staten Island.
It almost sounds like a Springsteen album.
Yes, right? Sword of Staten Island.
Something like, he's, Asbury Park, Staten Island, something like that. So, well, Sonny, we are so thankful that you're a part of the Empire, and because of your joining and your support, we will now bestow the following title to you. Sonny Faljean, you are the Chancellor, His Stupendous Sufficiency.
Baronet, unyielding, the Sword of Staten Island.
Congratulations, sir. That is, we're very happy for you, and welcome to the Empire. Okay, we have to move on. That was super great, and again, all these people are joining the Empire. That's amazing. So we thank you for all those who are coming to be part of it. Now we have a giveaway. So that is also super fun because we love giving away stuff. We are giving away today, I'm sure you're curious, a keep at Blood Red Falls. What a nice holiday gift that we'll be giving.
Yep. Nothing says Christmas like to keep at Blood Red Falls.
Then having your friends and family go through a dungeon they will not survive. That's right. And speaking of the author of that, Mr. Vic Dorso, he's going to be coming on at 10 o'clock. How about that? So the sack of goodies, like Santa, the Santa sack is ready to go. My jangling sack of goodies is right here.
You're filing that sack a little too long, my friend.
Well, I added some chips because we have more patrons.
Oh, okay. They did look larger.
It's just full. It's bursting with prizes and patrons. It's bursting with patrons. It's about to explode. I mean, I may blow this sack open and then I'll have to get another sack. And I don't know, is there a bigger Crown Royal sack? I mean, look at this thing. It's pendulous how big it is. It
is huge. Was that like the jug?
This is what I drink on a daily basis to keep the show going. So, all right, Dan, you get to tell me stop. I'm not looking in.
Stop.
All right. Oh, good. It's a red token. Why is that good? Because red is our copper patrons. So it's always fun when we can give people an opportunity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, 4. Roll a D8 for me.
3.
All right, congratulations, Thomas Powell. He is a copper patron, and he won a keep at Blood Red Falls. So congratulations, Thomas. I will get in touch with you to get your address, and you will be winning. I'll be sending you, on behalf of GROGTALK, your prize. That is awesome. Good for him. I see him on Twitter. He seems like a good guy. So congratulations to him. So if you want to win, become a patron by the end of the month at any level. And so what happens is we put tiles in. So if you're a copper patron, you get a red tile. If you're a silver patron, you get 5 greens. Electrum's 10 golds, and something else is blues 20 something or other. I don't know. There's a strategic. It's all been vetted by the accountants. So that is correct. He is the Chamberlain, His Most Significant Greatness, Emperor, Lord, Commander of New England. Thank you, sir. All right. So we did that, which is super cool. And so we'll be giving away something I don't know. We'll probably give another Castle Entertainment module. I like flipping back between them. What's your thoughts?
I agree.
All right.
Let's mix it up.
All right. So, I've been really kind of dreading this, to be perfectly honest. But we have to discuss this. We have to get this resolved and brought up because people need to know.
Well, and if there's going to be a brief delay in publishing the next issue of Flipping and Turning, they need to know because they're waiting for it. I'm sure they've marked it on their calendar.
Right. Yeah. Well, everyone's looking forward to a January. Seeing it soon because the first Flipping and Turning was such a tremendous success. I mean, thousands of people. We've been quoted everywhere. We have. Are you there? Are you screen saving? Are you showing us your screen there?
What am I doing wrong? Stop sharing.
Yes. I just need to see your picture. So we're trying to get our dear friend, the Tim Kask of our magazine.
Ha!
Who's on probation?
Well, let.
Counseling letter has been issued.
Rob, how are you?
By H.
A little disgruntled, actually.
Yeah. So, for those who don't know, Rob is our editor of Flipping and Turning, the quarterly magazine of the Grog Empire. There was such promise, and we don't normally do a public dressing down of what's happened, but I think it's important because we have a lot of people who have contributed, put in lots of hours, and they expect a magazine that they can be proud of, that reflects the morals and the principles that this channel holds to. And we thought we were clear. And we gave a lot of latitude, right, Dan, to Rob to write this article. We basically gave you free reign. And I'm sorry.
We did.
Go ahead, Dan.
You gave me carte blanche. It was pretty explicit.
Right.
Well, in retrospect, that appears to have been a mistake.
Yeah. So perhaps you could tell us what your thought was before I show the cover of what you were trying to accomplish with this episode.
Well, the issue number 2 was designed to embody basically everything good and decent about GROGTALK. And by extension, the Grog Empire. I know that you put a lot of trust in me, and I don't really understand yet your objections because you have not been explicit with them. But I will say that Tim Kask never had to put up with this sort of interference from Gary Gygax.
Actually, we talked to Tim, and we heard basically he was in his office all the time. But with that said, so
I probably should have watched that episode.
Probably should have. So before we get into it, so I'm going to say there was a theme to this.
Oh yes, absolutely. It's a themed episode.
Yeah.
It's a themed issue.
And when I heard originally about the theme, I had no problem with it. I thought it was fantastic. I mean, my understanding was going to be right, but I was in favor of the theme. I think it was the way more it was delivered. Was this is a matter of taste.
Clearly, that we got off on the wrong foot. Perhaps I'm willing to accept some responsibility for that.
Well,
I'd like to ask you what were you think? Okay, let me handle this.
Well,
James.
I'm going to share. I'm about to share it with our audience. But this is
okay.
So this is what we're talking about. Let me share it.
Thank God we have a lot of people who are just listening to the
Right.
podcast and are not seeing this. So, Mr. Ritchie, were you aware of the Grog Talk legal department's position, so to speak, on the drawing that you used as the cover for issue number 2?
I've never received any written instruction from the legal department of GROGTALK concerning that particular illustration.
Mr. Ritchie, have you received any? Are you aware of any position, whether in writing or oral, of the GROGTALK legal department's position on that cover? Mr. Ritchie,
I have no memory of that.
You recall a conversation between you, me, and James regarding?
As I recall, James was very positive about that image.
Do you have any recollection of the legal department's position?
So perhaps for our, and I don't mean to cut, this, obviously your employment is at risk, your salary is at risk at this, so I really should be, I know there should be more formality, but we are streaming live and our fans are seeing it for the first time, but people on the podcast would not be able to. So is it fair to say, Rob, that this picture, which I was opposed to from the beginning, if I recall that meeting, you presented this as like an homage to Earl Otis being slightly subversive, and Dan and I were very reluctant, and you said you wouldn't use it, and then here it is again. That's what I recall, because that's the beauty about being me.
I remember calling my wife in to take a look at it, and she's horrified. Well, I felt that in my position as editor-in-chief that my artistic decisions overrode those petty, censorious opinions.
Go ahead, Dan.
For our listeners, could you please describe for our listeners the cover drawing on what was supposed to be issue number 2?
It is in the long standing tradition of GROGTALK. It is a gnome just standing proud on the cover in the company of his animal companion. I mean, there's really nothing objectionable about it.
Could you describe the positioning of said gnome and said burrowing mammal companion?
I don't know if that's relevant to the conversation at this
James,
time.
can you please make him answer the question? Direct him to answer the question.
Look, the most charitable interpretation of this cover is that there is an enlarged rodent in front of a gnome, which appears to be using a rod in one hand or an axe and is straddling the large rodent. That's the most charitable. Like he's mounting that. That's the most charitable.
Are you suggesting that the illustration would be better if their positions were reversed?
Well, then it would be more in line with the monster manual that the rodent was attacking the gnome, which of course I'm a fan of, but some people may find it offensive. It appears that, and again, I think the concern is we don't want any appearance of impropriety. That is the standard that we've had for this, and I think people are commenting that the gnome appears to be standing very proudly behind the faceless rodent or burrowing mammal. That's the other problem. We don't even know what this creature is.
Standing erect? Is that what you're saying? The gnome is standing
very tall. He's tall in his boots.
I think you guys are focusing on the issue, on the cover image, and we all know that they turn the page immediately. So I think that you're concentrating on the wrong part and not concentrating on the contents of the magazine. I mean, covers fall off magazines all the time. You don't like the cover? Tear it off. What's important is on the inside of the magazine.
Are you suggesting that cover would be ruined quite quickly?
I imagine some people might find it so stimulating as to want to destroy it instantly. Yes.
Well, the fact that we on Drive-Thru RPG, they were going to ask us to put a brown paper cover over it, virtual. You don't find that disturbing that we would have to do that?
Again, it's a terrible situation that the world is so full of censors, blue noses.
Which burrows are best for what?
The,
That's one of the titles on here.
I had a solution, which I said just put a black line, straight eyes, and the badger's eyes, and you refused, didn't you?
We got calls when we talked to the legal department. They were concerned that the National Society of Endangered Burrowing Mammals would want to know who this mammal is. This is a faceless burrowing mammal that is in a delicate position.
But the gnome is clearly identifiable. You can easily find out who that person is and track down the.
Who I'm going to call a perpetrator at this point.
Well, your perpetrator, whatever. Well,
I think that
burrow's the best. Obviously, the question about which burrow is best depends upon what you're going to use it for.
Exactly.
Read the article.
It's truly scary. So I will say to a mitigating factor, Dan, is that after we objected strongly to his self-initiated actions, he did comply, and we said this controversial this magazine can never see the light of day.
Yes, you did do that. This is after an expenses had been paid
right
out of my pocket.
Well, yeah, you're not being reimbursed for this. Patron money is not going to this nonsense.
The entire print run.
Have you read your contract? I mean, come on. Yeah.
Right.
Read your contract.
So he did send us proof that this has been destroyed, or at least taken care of, right? So I have a picture showing him burying this episode in a landfill, and we'll never see it again, correct?
Yeah, as far as you know, the entire print run has been destroyed.
Well, I think, and my understanding, this was shown to many of the luminaries of 1E.
Right.
Right. They were horrified. They couldn't believe what was done. And
I will say that a lot of the feedback I got back was not complimentary, which is a little discouraging, I have to admit. Not but I'm sure that do you have the picture of the destruction?
I have where you have claimed, and again, now I'm a little concerned. You said the ones that we know of is been buried. I did show that to the readers, the viewers right now. So
it's, I'm sure that if any of this extremely rare and now very hard to find issue were to show up on eBay, it would go for a tremendous amount.
You mean like $999? I saw an eBay listing that was taken down because it was inappropriate. Sure, yeah, that's probably right. So,
the dark web is is still available. The good thing, so I guess the good thing about it is that I'd like to inform the Grog Empire that Dan and James, in their munificence, have agreed to give me an additional 6 months to produce the replacement.
No.
What?
No. We didn't give you 6 months. We gave you 6 days. 6 days.
6 days.
Yes.
That's impossible.
It was impossible yesterday, but now it's possible because you see how clearly upset we are. This needs to get done. Have you at least come up with some articles to throw together so that we can hit our deadlines?
I suppose I could scrape some articles out of my reject bin and see what's come up. I mean, come on. Illusionists make better lovers. Do you know how much work went into that episode? The research alone took weeks.
I don't believe it.
I know. I wrote it. Is that still going to be used? Right?
No. Everything. It's
No.
the
Wait. What?
fruit. Dan, it's the fruit of the poison tree. It all goes.
I don't believe it. I disbelieve that article at all. I don't believe it at all.
Wow. Okay, now I am upset because I did put a lot of effort into that. That was a lot of research.
So when can our patrons, because of course we allow patrons early access, when can they expect to see this new version, not the green version of this flipping and turning?
Oh, okay. Well, I suppose that if I let's see, just going to guesstimate here that it will probably be available Christmas week, possibly, maybe even probably Christmas, maybe even Christmas Eve.
So the green version will be dropping for our patrons, available Christmas Eve. Okay. So we will see a draft in 6 days. I think that's reasonable. And are we clear that this type of going off the reservation, which I think is also something you're not supposed to say anymore, is not going to be tolerated, right, Dan?
Yeah, no. So how long? We're going to put them on a performance improvement plan, and for what, 30 days?
30 days of PIP with daily follow-ups, where we will track his performance on 1 to 4 using the DMG, and we'll be tracking it.
That's right.
And
That's right.
If you get a 2.3 or above, we will then evaluate at the 30-day period, and we may either extend the PIP or get you off probation at that point.
You need to get a little bit more Tim Kask in you and a little less Errol Otis. Okay,
Right.
got it?
Right. And certainly a hell of a lot less Gene Wells.
Okay. Now that you've
A lot less Gene Wells. He was a hybrid. This was a Gene Wells.
This is a
Errol
chimera
Otis hybrid.
of almost thing, yeah.
Well, I see now that perhaps I need to reach out and get more feedback from the powers that be a little earlier in the process. So you guys also will be. I will be expecting you to be at those meetings.
Oh, I see.
Daily meetings.
It's our fault.
I look
This is
forward
typical.
to all that quality time to spend with you.
This performance improvement plan is not starting off well. Is it, Jay?
This is not about our problem. This is we're talking about your challenges to remaining the editor of GROGTALK. I understand you're frustrated. I can sense
a lot of work.
I can sense that, but we need to refocus you on this, and
because we can find a Jake Chiquette.
right, yeah,
okay?
there is a Jake out there.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, that hurts.
Because actually, Tim Kask didn't he leave in 1980 or something, early 81?
This is about that time. Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
And the largest Dragon magazine ever just came out right now, 108 pages under Jake Chiquette.
Yeah.
So we need to find our Jake Chiquette, of course.
Rob's going to be like our Captain Pike.
Well, sir, we appreciate episode 2 is moving forward. Do you have everything you need?
Yes, absolutely. Coming in, I got a present this morning of a tremendous piece of artwork from Aggie Pryor.
Excellent.
And I am I can't tell you how happy I am with it. Stuff's rolling in. I've got it. Are you kidding? We have stuff for the next issue and probably the issue after that.
All right.
But I will turn it all over to Jake naturally.
Yeah, stop lying. It's enough already. He's all like, "We got so much. It's a mix." All right, just get the issue out, okay?
I'll just get an issue out. I'll do something.
The fact that you've got a bunch of articles in your inbox doesn't do anything for our readers, okay?
Unless you're just going to give us access to the email. So editor@grogcon.com, or you can go out to Spotify, and you can conspire with Rob, his subversive. I'm sure he's going to want to make a game, an RPG game based on this, kind of like Gnome High School, where.
Right, like Corner of the Corner the Badger.
Corner the Badger.
That's the badger.
No, that's wrong. That is wrong. That is so wrong. So, Rob, again, congratulations on retaining your job. You should be thankful. You should be thanking us
really
for the opportunity to continue this.
Yes. We will now accept your thanks.
Yes.
Well, it is a measure of your munificence, that your adroit munificence, that you are able to both punish and give with two hands. It's wonderful.
Stop! All right, for God's sake.
Two hands.
He's so nervous. He's
Just
so
like
nervous.
the gnome. That's
Shake.
giving
Yes.
love the way we do.
And punishment.
Like the Magnificent Butcher.
Like the Magnificent Butcher. So
Like a municipal.
we're
right,
we're
well,
looking
guys,
forward to seeing the finished work. Again, Rob puts a ton of time into this, so thank you, sir. And I know this little sidebar, but if you do find a copy, please turn it in, send it to us at the Grog Empire so we can destroy it. Please do not let it doesn't represent our values.
It's not what we
That's
do.
right. It's not us.
That is true. Well, I see that now.
Have you listened to the last episode? Does he know we have kids?
Right.
That are
11-year-olds.
members? Are they coming?
Well, I do know that James was fondling a giant sack of chips earlier,
Yeah.
and there were a few jokes were made. So
Talking about Crown Royal.
yeah.
Well, I mean, just talking about alcohol and I think we do need to figure that out.
I agree.
But
you
I'm
guys
not.
gotta work on-
I am manipulating the bag, is what was, in order to provide a fair distribution of the contents.
Yeah.
The seeds of this bag, I wanted to spread around evenly. That's what I was
So
trying.
it'd be an even, right? So it would be an even. Everyone have a fair chance. I don't understand what the problem
I
is.
think. Well, we need to send him to sensitivity, GROGTALK sensitivity training. 4 days of intense training.
Because he obviously sees things where he shouldn't, and he doesn't see things where he should.
Right. Exactly. So.
See, he needs like a slideshow. Like, okay, which one of these is wrong?
One of these things is
Which
not
one
like
is-
the other. Exactly.
So this is wrong then?
If
very
loving
wrong.
gnomes is wrong, he doesn't want to be right. So, Mr. Ritchie, we will see you. We'll see you real soon. But again, thank you for all your work. We're very excited about episode 2, and thanks to everyone who's been contributing to this. I had a great time writing the article that I submitted, and we look forward to seeing you real soon. So, thank you, sir.
All right.
We'll
Goodbye.
talk to you later.
Goodbye. Thank you, Rob.
All right. Hopefully this magazine will be better than what we ended up with, the first one.
Yeah.
Well, and what is interesting, a version of this did actually happen, just to be perfectly blunt. That picture he was going to use, and the legal department did have an issue with it.
Oh, that's true.
And
We did.
And
It was a meeting. Whether he remembers it or not. Now I know I need to put this stuff in writing.
yes, apparently you need to document it. It's not sufficient to have well, at least you should have sent a memo memorializing the meeting.
Yes, to confirm
Right.
the understanding that's been reached.
This is the
Yes,
follow-up.
you shall
That's
not.
right. This is a follow-up to our meeting, and I'm sending to you and copying all parties so that this is aware. You don't need to reply, though it would be appreciated so we know acknowledgement of it, so there's no further ambiguity. Absolutely.
That'll be next time.
Yeah. So the problem for Rob is, as someone who you've done HR law, and I'm a manager, and all my days is figuring out ways not to get sued. We do this a lot. So again, thank you for him for that thing. So we are now ready, finally, for random encounter.
Let's do it. Okay, it's the Dorso roll. Sir, I've rolled a 5.
All right, you've rolled a 5, which means, what does that mean? I think it means a Monster Manual 2.
I agree with you. Okay. So I have the Monster Manual 2. If I recall correctly, it is now a D10 to know the area in which we are, correct?
That's right. So I'm ready for
Would you like
D10.
to roll the D10, sir, please?
4.
So now is when the show is actually starting. Is that
Yeah,
fair
1
to
hour
say?
1 hour and 18 minutes into it, the show is starting, which is about right.
4, where do you think we are, sir?
4, we're in a dungeon.
You are correct,
Nice.
sir. So I now need to know the monster level. There are 10 levels.
7. Oh, this is good.
Oh, yeah, because we've got this angel
Astral
that
Diva.
we
That's
need
right.
to
It's
bring down. Okay, so now you are doing that die 8 and the die 12,
all right.
please.
Die 8, die 12. 15.
Okay.
Slightly above average, off the mean.
A giant sundew, Sundew.
This
Is that like a giant cantaloupe? Like rolls? Is that like, was it like the abscob or something that was in Dragon? Then made, remember, wasn't it like a big round ball?
Well, that's the aspid. Looks like a ball with dots on it, like a soccer ball. It looks like, yeah. This.
Yeah. So is that what this is? Like a big melon?
No, if I'm correct, it is as you said it is, which is
No way.
literally a plant.
Really? All right. It's in Monster Manual 2.
I'm pretty sure of that.
Oh, I just look at these. Oh, we don't have a drawing. It is on page 116.
Thank you, sir.
Of the Monster Manual 2. Okay, the giant sundew. Unlike its smaller cousin, this plant is almost sentient, being slightly aware of its surroundings. I'm going to go to the description because I don't want to be reading about this and not know what it looks like. So I'm going right to the bottom. Giant sundews appear as 3 to 4 foot high mounds of gray-green terry ropes or rags. Areas where they are found are often heavily fly-infested, and the air will often have a thick odor of sweet syrup. High mounds of gray-green. What are terry ropes? Is like terry? What's a terry rope?
Almost, it's like moss, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. Unlike its smaller cousin, this plant is almost sentient, being... What's its smaller cousin? Oh, well, the sundew.
Yeah.
Is that a monster somewhere?
No,
A sundew?
I think it's a plant.
Oh, it's just a plant. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's one of these. Interesting.
Well, I can't see
Well,
it.
I'm gonna show it to you because
I don't know if I can see it. You're frozen. Busy. You might have to describe it. So it's a plant. Oh no, you're moving now. All right, I'll keep reading while you get that up. Preferring shaded, cool places to grow. It sounds like me. The giant sundew grows only hair-like roots.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. All right, I'm with you. Hair-like roots to lightly anchor it in place. Furthermore, it may at will withdraw these roots and pull itself along the ground with its sticky tendrils. That was the name of my first thief, actually, was Sticky Tendrils. Yeah, it was my first thief, was Sticky Tendrils.
That's the. I thought that was a Stones album, Sticky Tendrils. Oh, that's Sticky Fingers. Sticky Tendrils. I'm sorry.
Yes. It derives its sustenance primarily from the prey it catches. The giant sundew is able to detect moving creatures by vibrations, and when anything moves within 5 feet of it, it will lash out with its tendrils. Its lump-like body is covered with hundreds of tendrils, and up to 6 may attack each creature in range each round. Oh my. These tendrils end in sticky globs of sap. For every 3 tendrils that strike a victim, that victim will suffer a -1 on its subsequent to hit rolls. So I'm just seeing, like, these like 6 characters are like flying through the air. They're all stuck to these tendrils. This effect is cumulative, so that if 6 tendrils hit, the victim would be at -2 on its to hit roll. If a 20 is rolled to hit by the sundew, that tendril will have struck the character across the mouth and nose, clogging these with its sap. Okay, I like that. I like any monster that has, like, on a 20, this will happen, I'm a fan of. The character will suffocate in 2 to 4 rounds unless the sap is removed. Oh, so I have a chance of hitting this angel. Oh, wait, am I the angel?
You're the sundew. You're always the challenger.
Oh, I hope I get the 20. Wouldn't that be great? A bunch of sap right in this angel's mouth and nose, and you suffocate. The character will suffocate in 2 to 4 rounds unless the sap is removed. I'm so hoping for that. In addition to its clogging effect, the sap is composed of a mild enzyme acid that will cause 1 point of damage per tendril each round until the tendril is broken. The chance these tendrils may be broken is the same as that for opening doors for each character, and each tendril should be checked individual. individually. I wonder if some of these entries became longer because by the time it was Monster Manual 2, they knew the kind of questions players would have, right? You're like, in the old days, you could just say, well, you know, you got to break free. And they're like, no. What's the roll? What do you need?
Right.
The sap will dissolve and become harmless if soaked with vinegar or alcohol, such as wine. Oh, so this is an advantage pro tip to bring wine.
Have some
wine.
vinegar wine. Absolutely.
Vinegar or alcohol, such as wine. So yeah, so the dwarves are in better shape if they come across one of these guys. And this is the only non-magical way to prevent suffocation. Do the plant sticky? So you're like pouring wine down the guy's throat?
Apparently, that's what you're doing. It sounds horrible.
So you're getting drunk, but you're living. Due to the plant's sticky exterior, missile and fire-based attacks will only do half damage. All right.
So
okay, actually, you know, not
so
bad.
I'm thanks to the chat. They reminded me. I forgot what it was called, but there was a sundew, and I'm putting that up for folks. You may be able to see it as well in the share. It was in A1. Dwellers of the Slaver City, whatever it's called again.
Oh, a giant sundew or just a sundew?
The giant. Well, Slave Pits of the Undercity is what it's in, and at the it's in a back area, and there was bottles of vinegar, and you have to get it. You know, the tournament players have to figure it out. But it's a giant sundew. If you can see that, can you see that?
Oh, very clever. I cannot, unfortunately, but okay. Do we know who did the artwork? Well, it doesn't matter.
Let's see. It's Willingham did.
Oh, okay. So
here, I tried it again for you.
Oh, there it is.
This is.
Oh, there it is. The giant. Okay, the giant sundew. So all right. So I withdraw. I didn't any criticism of it because it is from A1, and of course, it's attacking the woman
who's half naked, who appears to have chain armor that only covers half of her body.
Yes, she's had an equipment malfunction apparently.
Yeah. So welcome to 1980 or whatever this was done.
Right. Okay. And so that's what you had to find. That was part of the challenge, was to recognize that you need to grab the wine or the vinegar.
Yeah,
okay.
And for those who want to, spoiler, I don't know if you've been through. I did run A1, but they did not go through this area. They went straight to the main temple area. But if I remember correctly, it's over by this area, over by 5B or something like that. It's like a guardian. I'm scrolling and flipping, of course. So yeah, 5B, Sundew's lair. This room is almost bare except for the stairs on one wall and a door on the opposite. 5 feet from this door is a mound of tarry-looking rags. Many flies buzz around the room, and the air has a sweet honey smell. That's what you would tell the party.
Oh, so you're like, oh, what are those rags? Let me go over
Right.
there. So you just think it's rags. There's maybe a magic sword in there. Let me go over there, and of course, out it.
And then in 5A, there's a small alcove which has barrels of the wine. So there you go.
Got it. Okay. See, I don't know. All right. Should I go there? I mean, part of me is like,
of course you should go there. That's the whole point of this.
It's our show. That's the show. Again, it's like the carbuncle. I think this monster's neat situationally. It makes sense to be an A1. I don't know that I need it. I don't know that I need a book including it.
Right.
You know, it's kind of fun if you're writing an adventure to include it there because you're customizing your adventure. I don't know that I need a giant sundew, but okay. Not everyone had A1. So, all right. So maybe anyone on the chat, what are the odds, you think? I think the giant sundew's got a shot against the diva, right? Because
I think the sundew has no shot unless I don't play the astral diva like a genius. But okay, let's. I mean, the sundew, this diva is a genius, so you would hope, and with a wisdom of 20. So it would
not be like, hey, what are those rags? Let me go poke around in there.
That would be my guess. But
let me stick my head in that pile of rags and look in there.
I'm a messenger of a greater god of the good plains. Let me see what's in this abyss. What's in these rags here?
Well, what's your intelligence? A super G. We have to do an intelligence. We should do a skills check.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I think we did last time, which I'll be happy to do. If that's Genius
All
is
right.
17, 18. So
Okay, so you might fail and be like, hey, what are those rags? All right, so we are rolling for
yes,
surprise.
that would be the only thing. Is somehow as she's flying around, she inadvertently flies over the
Sure.
Sundew's lair.
Sure.
So all right, here's. Oh, I rolled a 1. Of course.
And I rolled a 5, so you're surprised for one segment. Oh, but do we have to now roll? I hate this rule, the way we play this. I know we do it in the order in the DMG. Now we
Right.
do distance now, right? You do surprise and distance. What you say is the distance is too far, then
30
surprise
feet
doesn't
away.
matter, right? What's my range for these things?
Your movement
very
is
far.
1. I do know that.
5? Yeah, and anything within 5
Yeah.
feet of
So
it.
you've got to
So
move.
now.
You're gonna have to move towards me.
But okay. So does that mean? Wait, but you're surprised.
Yeah, and I'm surprised for a while because
So
I rolled
does that
1.
mean-
You rolled a 5. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's right. You could say, well, you're surprised. You're surprised for one segment.
I'm surprised for one
Right?
segment.
Yeah, you rolled
Yeah.
a 1.
But you rolled a 5, isn't it? I thought it was the difference. It's not the difference. Doesn't matter. I keep forgetting the rule.
I think it doesn't. I think if we're both surprised, it's the difference. So you're surprised for
Okay,
one
that's right.
segment, right? I think you just
Yeah,
that's the way
you're
you
right.
play it. Polyhedron did it. They did it different, which was weird because that's canon. But okay, that's a different.
Yeah,
That's a different subject.
surprised. Got it. So you're surprised for one segment. So great. So
But how fast are you
I can fly
flying?
at 42.
I mean, so could you like fly within 5 feet of me
Yeah,
in
I'm
that
gonna.
segment?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna allow you.
Yeah.
I'm flying by you, and you're gonna get your attacks. Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Yes, I agree with that. All right, I'm
Okay.
lashing
Well,
out at you.
and that's different from when.
Exactly. Never. I'm
So
declaring.
okay,
that's what I'm doing.
that's
right?
what you
'Cause
do. You're
yeah,
a Sundew. You.
I get the
Oh,
vibration.
you feel the
I don't know what's
vibrations
above.
exactly. I gotcha.
Right, and it will lash out with my
So
tendrils.
you get 1
So,
to
all
3.
right.
How many attacks did you get?
1
Up
to
to
3.
6
See
may
below.
attack each creature. There you go. So
Wait, so why do I get 1 to 3?
That's the damage. 1 to 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Damage to attacks. Yeah, number of attacks special. So
It
do I
says it
get
will
6
lash
attacks?
out. Its lump-like cover with hundreds of tendrils, and up to 6 may attack each creature in range. So you get 6 attacks. It sounds like. For
Yeah,
yeah.
I get
So
6.
you're gonna get 6 attacks. So you are a 8 hit dice monster, which is good. For a lump of rags, that's pretty good.
Yeah, because I just need I want a 20 on these 6 rolls. That does seem to be the way it
Yeah.
is, right?
So your 8 hit dice, you need a 18 to hit.
All right, here we go. Roll number 1.
Yeah, that's what I
13.
said, David. It should be 4 segments of surprise, but I'm not going to argue with him. But that
Wait, what? No, we've
no,
done.
it's
okay,
fine. It's fine. You're right. We're just going 1. I know that's only if it's they're both surprised. That's what your ruling is. I got it.
Okay. I rolled a 1. I'd love 4 segments of surprise. I rolled a 12. Oh, I'm being punished. I rolled a 14. I only have 2 left. I rolled an 8. Come on. And I rolled an 8. That was terrible. So much for the giant
So
Sunday.
you've missed. So now it's initiative. I've
Yeah.
flown past you. I'm like, what is this? I felt something weird. Waving. at me.
These rags are like waving in the
Okay.
air.
So
All right.
now it's initiative. So I'm going to say, go ahead.
Well, wait a second. Well, hold on. Can I would like
Yeah.
to work the refs. Can we have an intelligence roll? Because you may be like, what the heck is
Right.
that thing?
All right. I'm gonna roll.
Right? You're assuming you know what I
I rolled
am.
a 13. I know you tried to attack me. So
Got it.
I'm going to decide what my action is. I've flown past you now. So I am not. That
Right.
was your attack of opportunity. You're not getting another attack of opportunity. So I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. If I get close to you, you're going to attack me again, I assume.
I'm not giving that away.
Oh, I
You
declare first. I'm going to move past you and cast a spell.
Well, I'm
Okay,
attacking.
so you're going to move towards me.
I'm parlaying. Yes.
Okay.
What's my intelligence? Oh, semi.
Do you
Okay,
have
not
Do you
bad.
have a language? It doesn't look like you have a language. I was going to talk to you, but it
Right.
could tongues work
Well-
here? That's the question.
Well, you could. Well, druids could talk. You could talk to
but
plants. If you have druid
I don't
ability,
I don't
right?
think she
Can you
has
talk-
I don't think
can
she
a
has
druid talk?
druidic abilities. So I'm not going to waste my time with that. What am I going to do? I'm going to
No, you delayed
I'm
too
not-
long. Gary said you lost your.
Okay, so you would just want me to attack you. Fine, I'm going to attack you.
I don't care.
I'm going to
Do
strike
whatever
you
wanna do.
down and pummel you like the plant that you are.
You can cast a spell. I mean, I'm hate to hit dice.
No,
That'd
I'm
take
going to
forever.
attack you because I still have something up my sleeve, so I'm all good.
Yeah, you got sap.
Hey,
up your sleeve
hey,
in a
hey.
second, buddy.
All right, so it's initiative. I'm
Hey,
attacking
yo.
you. I'm
I rolled a 2.
4. So I win the initiative. I'm going to. Your armor class is what?
7.
7. This is horrible. I'm gonna pummel you like a. I have 9 hit dice. 5. I need. I missed. God.
I have.
Yeah,
have
you got
42
hit points. That's good.
That's a lot. All right.
Yeah,
I'm
start rolling your hit points.
Oh, I get 6 attacks.
You take 16 hit points.
What?
I smashed you inside the head. Well,
What head?
smashed your body with my giant mace.
Like, there are a bunch of tendrils. They're just flopping off. They're flopping on the side. I'm down to 26 hit points. You like whacked off like a quarter of my tendrils.
Right. So now you get to get your attacks again.
Let's go. All right. I get 6, right?
Right. You get 6. Roll. You need 18. People are bored. They're bored with
6.
us. We need to move on. Hurry up.
2, 11, 1. Terrible. 17.
Oh, you
20.
got 20. What does that mean?
Finally, well, don't you have you've sap or something in you, right? If a 20 is rolled to hit by the sundew, that tendril will have struck the character across the mouth and nose, clogging these with its sap. The character will suffocate in 2 to 4 rounds unless the sap is removed. In addition to this clogging effect, the sap is composed of a mild enzyme that will cause 1 point of damage per tendril, this is just 1, each round until the tendril is broken. The chance these tendrils may be broken is the same as that of opening doors for each character. Oh, we have to actually know your strength then, and each tendril should be checked individually. The sap will dissolve and become harmless, but the sap is still on you though, right? So wait, the chance, what does that mean? The chance these tendrils may be broken. Oh, so it's causing damage
but I
to
can
you?
break it. But I still may choke from the sap. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, won't you unless you need a magical
Right.
way to remove
That's
it?
right.
Right? I assume you don't have vinegar or alcohol.
Well,
with you,
I don't
correct?
think I prepared that. You're right.
Yes. Where's your equipment list?
I don't have my equipment list. Okay. So
Didn't write it
so
down.
that was that. So I'm stuck. I have 2 to 4 rounds. I'm going to roll how many rounds before I suffocate. Even though I'm not sure angels breathe, but okay, we'll go with that. All right. I wrote down how many rounds I have. So now it's
Oh, and I do damage.
You do
Don't I
1
do
to
damage
3.
to you, even though with that check? Okay, so I did 1.
okay. So I have 9 plus 36 hit points. I'm going to say I'm still alive. All right. So it's initiative. So now I'm going to. So now I'm stuck to you. Correct?
Well, you struck to 1
And it's in my
tendril.
mouth.
Well, that's right. So you can't withdraw,
Correct.
right? You're
So I
stuck,
either
yeah,
have to
you're-
break the tendril, keep attacking you, or try to get this stuff off me. Right?
Or surrender. Or surrender.
Surrender? I don't surrender.
I don't know how you would announce
Right.
you're surrendering since you have a bunch of sap in your
Exactly.
mouth and nose.
So I'm going to say that I'm going to attack. Even though I have plus 6 strength, I have 18 double 0 strength. I could just rip this off like I'm nothing. But I'll worry about that later.
Well, why wouldn't you? But you still have sap, and you can't use a spell because you can't do the
That's
verbal
right.
component. If the rest,
That's right. You can't say anything, right? It's clogging your mouth and nose. I don't know. Can I hum? Can I hum the verbal component?
No, it's got to be perfect. You know, that's got to be perfect, right? Everything's.
Is there a spell that just has a semantic component? That's the question. I think everything has a verbal component.
Is there
I'm
some question?
99% positive. Anyway, I'm attacking you. I rolled. Here's my initiative is 2.
What about the sap?
What about the sap? I have sap.
All right,
The diva has sap in their mouth.
that's your
I'll
problem.
worry about that later.
I understand it's your player.
Okay,
I
you
rolled a
get-
6.
You,
So
you get 6 more
right?
attacks.
Like if I get another 20, is it just like?
Well, I don't know.
Really
That's a good
filling
question.
up?
That's a good
Well, let's see.
question.
Well, let's see if I get a 20. We'll cross that 20 when we get there. 7, 1. Did I hit myself? 9, 11. This die's terrible. 20. I got a 20
Okay,
on number
you got.
5.
There's
Let me
more
keep going.
sap. There's more sap in there now. Yep.
11 and 7. Another 20. So the question, yeah. So now let me do your damage. It's 2 points of damage, and the question is this double sappage? You have to like remove both.
I think I would say so. It's stacked sappage.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of
It's
sap.
pushed-
There's
It's
just
pushed the initial sap in deeper.
yep. So there's nothing I can do with that. Okay. So I got full of sap. All right. So I'm going to attack you.
Okay.
12 hits. 9 hits. So I think I hit you twice. And I will roll my damage. 4. And 4 plus is 26 points of damage.
How many?
26.
I had
And
26.
and you roll a save versus spell, or you'll be knocked senseless.
I'm dead.
Oh, you're dead. Okay.
So you had 2 tendrils though stuck to your
Yes.
face. That's impressive. And so, all right. So yes, I just wilt.
Yeah, and then I take my 18 double zero strength and pull the tendrils off. And then
Wait. You gotta do an open doors roll. Don't
Okay.
you need like a 5 out of 6 or something? What do you
I
need?
rolled a 3 and I rolled a 4.
Okay.
And now I'm standing there, and 1 minute goes by, and another minute goes by, and 2 minutes, 2 rounds, he would have died. But guess what?
What are you doing?
Total vacuum does no harm to astral divas.
Wait, what? Okay, speak plain English. What's happening?
If I was in a vacuum where there's no air, it doesn't do any harm. What does this? I'm not going to suffocate to death.
Oh.
I go.
You still gotta get rid of that stuff, though. So you're gonna go to one. I guess you go to a bar. An astral demon walks into a bar.
That's right. An astral diva goes into the bar. That's what I was looking up. See, this is why detailed
Yes.
explanations is helpful. So on page 43, it says total vacuum does no harm to astral divas.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, all right. I mean, that makes sense,
Well,
right?
that's absence of air. There's no air, so it's not like he's going to suffocate. She can't suffocate.
Right. Okay. So the astral diva drinks some vinegar,
At some
some
point,
white wine.
but-
White wine. Stops at Publix on the way home for white wine vinegar.
It's definitely she's definitely in a scary situation because she's in the middle of the abyss. Which, if she were to die on the abyss, it's permanent death. Now, with that said, you have your favorite part still, Dan. What do you do next?
Oh, that's right. Yes, we're going to do divine intervention, perhaps. All right, let me roll. I don't know what plant is coming.
The plant god of plant. All right, people, what god of plants if he does get a 10, which he seems to get with shocking regularity?
I rejected with extreme prejudice. 96.
Oh, all the sundew feels is the void of the end of being itself. It does senses nothing else.
Because I was going to send like that abscoid or whatever, that big ball.
Would that be the deity of the pet of the thing? Okay.
He's sending it. Well, yeah, he's sending it. So, all right.
All right. So very well. So the diva again. It's going to be tough to kill the diva. She's a diva. She's a diva for a reason.
I think the Christmas special, she's going down.
Well, that's a good segue, because before we do spell selection, did you want to work on Santa's stats?
What do you think? Shall we just generally decide what Santa is? Because I was thinking that we'd have, in the Christmas special, we would have some combat with Santa, maybe against like a frost giant or something like that.
Did we do Krampus the last time? I thought we talked about it, but I don't know if we
We
did.
may have. So what would Santa be?
Right. I thought there was an article that we read that he was a cleric and what was that? He was something, but it wasn't that high level. It's more, more towards the Gandalf realm.
Well, we can find some Krampus stats online if we want to go the Krampus way. I'm happy to do that.
No, that was who he was going to fight. So we were making Santa stats.
Oh, he's the bad. Yeah. So.
But now Santa's going to go against a frost giant. Why is he? Or what's the from Rudolph the Red-Nosed, the Bumble? He should fight the Bumble.
What's the Bumble?
From Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the monster, the abominable snowman, Bumble.
Is that his name? He's that tall blue dude?
Yeah, the Bumble.
Skinny guy,
right.
But he ends up being nice?
Yeah, well, because they rip his teeth out.
Oh,
so there should be a reindeer, an elf, and Cornelius, and Santa should fight the Bumble.
Who, is he like a frost giant? He's kind of like a frost giant.
I was going to more like a Yeti or some kind of...
Oh, yeah. It was a Yeti. There was a Yeti.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Yeti.
Who was the 1 foot in front of the other guy?
He was the Wizard of the North, or whatever. He was the.
Okay.
You don't watch these every year? What's wrong with you? What kind of holiday spirit?
I will watch it. We'll get that planned.
So if you go out to Discord, and you give us Santa's stats, I mean, you can either. I know there's magazines that have done it, but you give us your stats, and then we will pick. And I think last time we recreated Thanksgiving, I think we need to recreate the famous fight scene. Well, technically the fight scene is with Cornelius, the prospector, the elf, and Simon, the ambiguously, like they did in the 60s, they kind of attributed certain things. Yes, a Yeti is another name for Abominable Snowman. Okay, so Yeti versus Simon, Rudolph, and Cornelius, and then maybe Santa comes in and fights the Yeti comes in and tries to help.
If necessary. Do we have reindeer stats? We probably have reindeer stats.
Oh yeah, we've got to have reindeer stats. I would assume they're a herd animal, so regardless, we would use that.
Oh, that's true. They're not a herd, obviously. Right. And what would Cornelius be? We have a little elf, right?
He's
an elf. Gonna be like a first level elf, right? Or something like that. Yeah. He's actually just an elf from the Monster Manual because he wants to be a dentist.
Right.
He's not professional.
Right.
He is a professional. He wants to be a professional dentist.
Right. Exactly. He's just an elf.
So he'll be the elf from the Monster Manual.
Right.
And we'll have Rudolph, who will just be a reindeer, though he's of course can fly.
Well, he's a flying reindeer.
Flying reindeer.
He's an enchanted reindeer, basically.
And we will have, but other than that, he's just basically a reindeer stat. And what's Cornelius? He's just a prospector?
Yeah.
So he's just a human.
I would say he's a human.
Yeah, he's just a human.
Right. Against a Yeti.
He's like 0 level fighter, right?
Yeah, you could make him a ranger. He's a winter ranger if you wanted to give him a chance.
Oh. Okay. That makes sense. Maybe he should be like a low level. All right, so maybe I'll better watch that.
Yeah, I'm sure you don't have to watch the whole 25 minutes. You can just go online and say fight scene. So Yeti, let's confirm we're going to use Yeti as our where is that? Yeti, is it?
What did they do to the Yeti in the show? What happened?
They knock him out with a boulder or something, and then they pull his teeth out because without his teeth he can't do anything.
That's horrible.
Yeah, it's cruelty, but welcome to the 60s.
Okay, so that'll be our comedy. There's the Yeti. Oh, he's only 4+4 hit dice.
Yeah, so we don't need something super bad.
Okay,
so
I like that.
So an elf, a prospect. I would make him a first level ranger, or maybe because he's out there, he's in the wild.
Okay.
You might Cornelius a first level ranger.
Okay.
Unless people have better ideas, which again they probably do, against the Yeti.
Well, that's why we're talking about this, and
of course a herd animal.
And a herd animal and an elf.
That can fly, yep.
Right, just a standard Monster Manual elf. And herd animal. It's all variable, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't give us a lot of information.
Well, we could use a ram.
Oh, that's true. It's kind of close to a ram. So
Ram's 4 hit dice. It's pretty good, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 4 hit dice.
A giant ram. Well, it's not a giant ram.
Okay.
right? I mean, he's he's actually like a
Yeah,
normal
he's like
goat.
a child. Yes. Well, okay. Is there a goat? Goats go to work. Like Go-Delicious, right? We had Go-Delicious.
A giant goat. Yeah, there's a normal goat. 1+2 hit dice.
I like that.
1 attack, 1 to 3. So you think a reindeer's like a goat?
Yeah, I think he's a
Alright,
goat.
Okay, but he flies. So we have a flying goat. Right, we'll do a goat who flies. We'll do a what?
Where did you find the goat 1+2?
Oh, goat is in Monster Manual 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Because they gave normal stats to squirrels and stuff.
Exactly. All right.
Well, we should
so
probably
we'll
have
do-
them all lined up because if I remember correctly, don't all the animals, wave Rudolph away when he tries to leave? They all kind of say goodbye because when he leaves because he's been banished because
Right.
they can't tolerate a red-nosed reindeer.
Right.
They all say goodbye because if the Yeti wins, I assume he's going to go on a murderous rampage and just start murdering everyone at that point.
Yes, he will kill Christmas Village. Destroy Christmas Village. All right. So that makes sense. All right. So yeah, so I like that better. So yeah, I don't think we need to worry about the Santa stuff. I like this better. I think you've got a great idea. We'll recreate the Yeti battle scene on our Christmas special.
Only because it's always touchy to have a chance. You should never stat Santa because what happens? Everyone wants to kill Santa.
Mm-hmm.
And
So you don't stat Jesus.
right, you can't do that because
Right.
then if something should happen, well, I don't want my Christmas ruined. I don't want to be personally responsible for murdering Santa.
Right. Okay. Just Rudolph.
Yeah, just Rudolph. Well, Rudolph, who cares?
He's not a real reindeer anyway. I
Right.
mean, that's Rudolph. Rudolph is not. That's just a myth, but whatever.
All right, so we got one more thing, and then we will bring. We got spell selection. So let's
Do it.
let's work on spell selection.
Okay. I am rolling percentile dice to see what kind of spell it is. I rolled a 66. I'm going to assume that is
Magic user. Well, you got to roll for illusionist.
Oh, that is right. I rolled a 98.
It is illusionist.
Wow. This
No,
is great.
I think I'm lying, but I want to do illusionist spell, so let's just do that.
What? The dice don't lie, really?
Well, okay,
Shame.
let me check because I keep forgetting.
Well, and we can't remember the magic user. We can't
No,
remember if we've done the
it's
spell or
magic
not.
user. I'm sorry. If you want the dice,
All
don't
right.
lie.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Because
Dice don't lie.
they specifically say 1 through 10 is illusionist on the second roll.
Right. Could you roll a die 10 for me, please?
I can. Yeah, we don't want to cheat. You're right. D8. When we cut corners, that's when bad things happen.
That's when it started going downhill.
8th level. We've got a lot of high
Whoa.
levels.
Whoa.
What are there 16
Roll-
of them?
16, sir.
All right. D8. 15.
Symbol.
Did we do symbol?
I don't know what symbol is. That doesn't sound familiar to me.
Yeah, I don't think we did. We'll go with
If we've done it, I've forgotten about it.
yeah. We'll go with symbol.
So symbol is on page 91. No, we've not done symbol. Oh my gosh, James, it's so long.
Yeah, this is a long one. Sorry.
I'll start reading while you look. It's on page 91 of the player's handbook. A symbol spell causes the creation of magical runes, which affect creatures which pass over, touch, read, or pass through a portal upon which the symbol is inscribed. Upon casting the spell, the magic user inscribes the symbol upon whatever surface he or she desires. Likewise, the spellcaster is able to place the symbol of his or her choice using any of the following. Okay, so let me back up here. So it causes the creation of magic runes.
Mm-hmm.
The magic user inscribes the symbol upon whatever surface.
Yep.
And then I have to, okay, so these are my choices. This is the menu. This is the full menu. Is
Right.
that right?
Right.
Okay. So is this, what is the thing that you, is this like a glyph?
It's like
How is a
it's
glyph?
very similar to a glyph of warning, except typically, you have to manipulate it or read it or do something or explosive ruins. But this one, as it says, if you get within, you pass through it, touch it, read it, it can happen.
Got it. Okay. Death. Wow. One or more creatures whose total hit points do not exceed 80. So I can just do a symbol of death
Yep.
on a doorway.
Just a big X or a skull, and that's it.
See, this, you can't have a magic user assassin, right? That does not exist. Well, I guess unless you did.
Well, the book that
well, I
shall
guess
not be
you
named,
do-
but they wouldn't be high enough level. Now, you could do a dual class.
That's right. Can I? So I still. So if I've been an assassin and then I dual classed a magic user, or vice versa. So that's really what the best. So the best assassins, ones who have dual classed, boy, they're really professionals. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna go to like I'm gonna become a 16th level magic user,
Yep.
and then I'm gonna dual class to assassin. Right? Can I do that?
I would probably become the grandfather of assassins and then go to dual class, because assassins, you can only get to so high. Why would you want to cap yourself on that?
Yeah, but don't I want to use all this magic user? I mean, wouldn't I be an amazing assassin if I'm a 16th level magic user, and then I just switch over to assassin? Even when I'm low level, wouldn't it be like, wow, that dude's awesome, right? I wouldn't have to use the assassin table. I'd be like, I'm casting. Everyone else, all these pathetic dweebs, all right, are like, oh, trying to do the poison and sneak in, and they're spying for a month. I'm just like, I cast a death symbol.
Right.
On this door to his house.
Right. Because as a 8/16, you're always murdering these people who are just, the burgermeister in the town.
It's a living.
So yes, and you would earn a whopping. Let's see how much you would earn if you, what level assassin are you when you're assassinating this poor burgermeister?
Level 1. I'm like a 16th level magic
Oh,
user.
I see. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Level
then.
1.
Yeah, that's good.
I should get paid more money, man, because I'm like a 16th level magic user.
You get 50 gold pieces for burning that symbol spell. I'm just letting you know.
James, I don't do it for the money. You know that. But I'm a assassin. It's the love. I love my job. You know what they say, right? Find a job you love.
That's right. You never work a day in your life. Yeah.
Okay. I can also do Discord. This sounds less cool. After death, things don't seem as cool. Discord. All creatures are affected and immediately fall to loudly bickering and arguing. Wait, is this like the Discord channel?
Yep, basically.
Okay. No, I'm done. I'm kidding. Because actually, Discord, the nice thing about it, right, is that you're among friends, right? Is it Twitter, like
that's right. It's regular Discord, not a good Discord, not Discord in the negative sense. Yes.
Right. Furthermore, this is funny though. There is a 50% probability that creatures of different alignment will attack each other. Okay, this is hilarious. The bickering lasts for 5 to 20 rounds. The fighting for 2. All creatures are okay. All creatures are affected. How big is my symbol though? Like, oh, so wait a second. So I can do it to like the door to the market.
Right. The gate. Right. Everyone walked through and it would hit it. But again, it's a one-shot deal. It's not permanent, right? As soon as it goes off, that's it.
Oh. So wait. So how do I get all these? So how do I do this? So I get a bunch of people. You know what I mean? Right? I mean, how do I get a bunch of people to do this? I want everyone to be bickering. But how do I do that?
Well, let's keep reading.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fear. This symbol operates as an extra strong fear spell, causing all creatures to save versus spell at -4 on the die, or panic and flee. Okay, that's kind of boring. It's just a fear spell. Hopelessness. This sounds better. All creatures are affected and must turn back in dejection unless they save versus magic. Affected creatures will submit to the demands of any opponent. Surrender, get out. The hopelessness lasts for 3 to 12 turns, and during this period, it's 25% probable that affected creatures will take no action during any round, and 20% likely that those taking action will turn back or retire from battle as applicable.
So it's a sad confusion spell.
Yeah, okay. Insanity. One or more creatures whose total hit points do not exceed 120 will become insane and remain so, acting as if a confusion spell has been placed upon them until a heal, restoration, or wish spell is used to remove the madness. Pain. All creatures are affected having racking pains shooting through their bodies, which causes them to have -2 on dexterity and -4 on attack for 2 to 20 turns. Sleep. All creatures under 8+1 hit dice will immediately fall into a catatonic slumber and cannot be awakened for 5 to 16 turns. Stunning. One or more creatures whose total hit points do not exceed 160 will be stunned and reeling for 3 to 12 rounds, dropping anything it or they hold in manipulative members. It says the type of symbol cannot be recognized without it being read, and thus activating its effects. The material components of the spell are powdered black opal and diamond dust worth not less than, wow, yeah, there it is, 5,000 gold pieces. So the question now I have is, okay, I create this.
Yep.
I assume it lasts, forever until it's triggered?
That's right.
So now we're back to the question I had, is how do I affect multiple people with this?
Well, it's a symbol that could pass over, and So
Oh,
you
no, it's creatures pass over.
Right.
Magical runes which affect creatures which pass over, right?
touch, read, pass through a portal, or pass through a portal. You inscribe it on the surface, and then likewise is able to place a symbol his or her choice. So your question is, if you want to do it in the market, and they're walking through the street, you could put it on the street that's there.
Why isn't it triggered the first time someone steps over?
It would be. So you'd have to do some kind of gate, put some gate there, let people stack up, and then, all right, the market's open. And then
everyone at once?
That's right.
Can I do a permanency spell on it?
I don't know. It's on the same page.
Oh, because that would be cool, right?
Right.
This spell affects erase certain spells.
It's not on. It's not listed on here, but that would be super cool.
Ooh, that would be super cool, wouldn't it? Everyone who passes through just dies. Do you get a save? Special.
Well, it depends on what it is. It tells you which ones you have save.
Yeah, death and there's no save.
Right. So the reason it's a one-shot deal is because one or more creatures whose total hit points do not exceed 80 are slain. So you could read that two different ways, right? Is it 80 total hit points and it kills everyone, or as if your hit points are less than 80, you die?
Yeah. Well, see, and that's the thing is the discord, the death, and I read it up to it says creatures. I read it that I get to kill off up to 80 hit points.
Right.
So you better hope you're in the back of the line and the people in front of you have a lot of hit points.
Yep.
And I still don't.
Or you could read it. I mean, yeah. My thing is one or more creatures whose total hit points. So you're reading it as total is exceeding 80, which I agree, which makes it reasonable. Because if it was the other way, anything under 80, that would kill most everything. That would be horrible. So I agree with you.
Well, and let's take a look, of course, in the
the cold shower book. I looked, and
Exactly.
the book appears to be silent on this.
Oh, does it? You've already looked. Okay.
But I'll let you check just in case, because sometimes
It's 8th level, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no.
It's silent.
No.
It's too bad.
Yeah, it says any other such spells can be choose. Yeah, no. So I got to tell you, I remain a little bit confused about this because it doesn't seem to make sense that everyone have to walk across at the same time. That's just kind of weird, right? I mean,
No, but you can
never going to walk across at exactly the same time.
Right. Typically, it's put on a chest or a door. You're all standing by the door. Someone tries to open the door. They see the symbol, and anyone surrounding it gets affected.
Oh. Yeah, that makes a little okay. Oh. Yeah, but see, that's interesting because they don't give a range. Oh, range is. Oh no, the range, of course, is the area effect is just special.
Right.
But so if it's on a chest, you read it. Let's say somebody reads it. We don't know that anyone is dying other than the reader, correct? Because that person has not. It says it affects creatures, so the creature has to pass over, touch, read, or pass through the portal on which the symbol is described. If that doesn't happen, right, you're not affected then. According to that first sentence,
Correct.
You are not affected unless you do one of those things.
Right. So you could put it where it's behind the door, and when you open the door, the symbol's right there, and so everyone who sees it reads it.
It's like a big neon sign.
It's like beep, and that's it.
They all look at that. They all read it at the same time.
Right.
All in unison.
Exactly. You could do it that way.
Anyone on the chat? David, our Chamberlain down south. David Thompson,
Shockingly, it's almost 2 a.m. He decided he'd go to bed.
Wow.
But what he did say is, you could have to make your own set of symbols based on the Greyhawk glyphs, which I think would be super cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could cast a bunch of these things.
You could.
All right.
But they're not permanent. They're one-shot deals. And
It sounds to me like it sounds to me the way I'm reading this is going to work against one person, one creature,
or a party, depending on how you do it.
You go, okay, well, it's going to be there's going to be discussion.
Well, so another way to do is you put it inside the chest. You lock the chest, you open the chest, and it's right there that you read it.
And they all read it at the same time.
Because think about the typical greedy party, right? They're standing far away when the chest is not open because they're worried about it blowing up. But as soon as the chest is open, nothing bad. They're like, oh, the chest is open. Everyone runs towards because they don't trust the thief. They think they're going to pocket everything.
So this is horrible. So you could do it. So you could do it like the back door. So I'm the magic user.
Yep.
I can put it on my back door.
Yes.
And it's like catching flies. Thieves are just.
All you hear
right.
is.
You hear it. Oh God, that's right. Or like leave an open window.
But,
Yeah,
but
it
remember,
is.
it's 5,000 gold pieces each time you do it.
I know, but sir, you only have to do it once.
Right.
Word will spread through the guild.
You would hope so.
Right?
You'd hope.
I mean, I guess can you throw like a burrowing mammal through the window? See what happens?
In theory, if it's read, that's what I like about read, because if what things can read versus step over, everything can step over. You'd be really mad if a rat ran over your symbol and you're like, oh,
down the dollars, down the drain.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
You really don't want that to happen, because that would be horrible.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But it's it's that typical asymmetric. It's back to your wizard in the market. He doesn't care. He's just like, whatever. He's put random symbols. He's put symbols on a book of pages, and he goes randomly, whoop, and he just shows people.
Yeah, he goes to the library. No, he just goes to the library.
Oh, that's right. He scribes it in the library.
Puts it in like a page of a book.
Yeah, and then he puts the book back.
And he just moves on. He's like the serial killer. He doesn't. He doesn't know. He doesn't care. He just moves on.
Well, he does. He does have some prejudice, because unless he's picking the book randomly, excuse me, librarian, I would like one book from random. Which book? I don't care. He's going to go in the children's section or the humor section, or
like Goodnight Moon. He's going to Goodnight Moon, or like gnomes are people too. And right. I gotcha. All right.
And instead of tearing out a page like a recipe book, people tear out the pages, or why would someone do that? He's actually putting a symbol of hopelessness or whatever.
Right. So maybe not death, but just right.
Well, death is too easy.
The excruciating pain. What was that one? There's the excruciating pain, right?
Right.
Oh yeah, pain. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So there you go. So it's 5,000 is a little brisk, but hey, it's that part's pretty good. All right.
You're bored. You're bored and rich.
16th level. You have a lot of free time, I think, is the issue.
And a lot of money.
All right. So what I think we're going to do is, I think Vic can also go over Dragon 44 with us. Vic wants to come on, so we always like having Vic on.
So can we take a brief break then? Would that be okay?
We can take a brief break. So hold on, let me get.
Bring him on. All right, I'll be right back, because I've got cats who are clamoring to get out of
so we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, and then we will be back to bring Vic on. All right, hold on.
Okay.
All right, we're back. I'm not. I know Vic was on. Vic, log on if you want to get on here. If not, that's fine too. We're going to move on to how to play a magic user, evil magic user, going into Hobgoblin lair. Correct, Dan?
Yep, you got it. Have you ever played a wizard in the heart of a Hobgoblin lair? This, of course, is from First Encounter magazine back in the early 80s. Our friend Kelly Villamere. And if I recall correctly, we handled a gelatinous cube. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, that is very familiar.
Okay, and you're dead, but we're going to let you play anyway.
I appreciate that.
So here we go. Are you ready, sir?
I am. I'm just writing down the time, 2:11. I have played a Hobgoblin. I am ready. Go ahead, please.
And of course, we are Elron Baroon, the chaotic evil magic user. And I'd also like to mention that today's episode or installment of Have You Ever Played a Wizard in the Heart of a Hobgoblin Lair is brought to you by Sam's Toys and Hobbies Limited.
Nice.
It's at 7127 120th Street, Scottsdale Mall, Delta, British Columbia. 594-5222. We have a good variety of D&D modules, figures, handbooks, dice, etc. So please stop by Sam's Toys and Hobbies at the Scottsdale Mall in British Columbia. Okay, so you eventually squeeze by the now dead gelatinous cube and proceed on your way. So, he's going kind of street language there. He's proceed on you way. Whoa, wait, what's going on here?
We added Vic. How are you, Vic?
Good morning.
You look.
Hold on here.
You look sniffly.
He looks hungover.
Yeah, he does.
Hung over. Jesus, guys. Been working 60 hours weeks getting those packages your wives have been ordering to the post office.
All right. Well,
the same look.
we're gonna bring Vic in. So Vic, we're gonna finish our Have You Ever Played a Hobgoblin, and then we'll jibber jabber with you.
Have you ever played a
No, have you ever played a magic user trying to get into a Hobgoblin lair? That's what we're doing, correct?
Oh. Isn't that just invisibility and walk in?
Well, basically.
Listen, we've got only so many choices here. So here's where we're at. You've squeezed by the now dead gelatinous cube and proceed on your way. The corridor continues winding around for a few hundred feet and then ends abruptly in a room about 40 feet by 50 feet in dimension. In the room, you see many bones of dead people or creatures. Apparently, it was your stepfather. I mean, your father-in-law, James.
Yeah.
Has been here. You see in the room, you see many bones of dead people, creatures, and on the far wall, a doorway with some statue or something beside it. As you get closer, you see that the statue is actually a huge tree-like form with long tentacles. It's what is it?
Roper.
You got it. It's a roper, and he seems to be too close for comfort. You quickly approach the doorway and try to open the door while keeping a close eye on this creature, which starts to move in for the attack. You get the door slightly opened, but it seems jammed, and you realize that you had better cast a spell quickly or do something. So you decide to
knock.
All right, well, hold on. I don't know if that's going to be one of your choices, sir.
It's choose your own adventure, not choose whatever you want to do. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not an actual adventure, yes. 1, cast Burning Hands on it, then jump through the doorway. 2, quickly jump through the doorway, then cast Hold Portal on it. Cast Sleep Spell on creature, then jump through the doorway. Cast Magic Missiles at this creature, then run through this narrow doorway. Cast Lightning Bolt on it, then attack with Dagger. Use Wand of Paralyzation on it. If it fails, attack with Dagger. Cast Ice Storm on it, and then run through the doorway. Cast Slow Spell on it, then run through the doorway. Cast Fireball, then run through the doorway. And number 10 is attack immediately with Dagger.
And you are an 8th level Chaotic Evil magic user, correct?
That is correct, sir. You're an 8th level magic user.
All right, Vic. So of those choices, what would you do, sir?
I would say use the fireball, but I think the room dimensions are going to get us in trouble here. So I'm going to go with the lightning bolt and the dagger.
Oh, I like it. I like the aggressiveness. That's 5, I think it is.
That is number 5.
So he's picking 5.
So let me understand this. So there was the door on this other side. You approach the doorway, try to open it. I'm watching the creature. I get it slightly open, but it seems jammed. And so I guess we can jump through the door. So it's coming at us. We can jump through the doorway, but we got to do something fast. Okay. James, any thoughts?
Well, I'm trying to think, what would Dan do? What would be the most likely to kill us off?
Right.
Fireball.
Yes, fireball would be a good one.
See, I'm wondering if Cold Portal actually shuts doors, or does it just keep doors from being open that already shut? Will it move? And I don't know the answer to that, which I'm a little concerned about. Number 2.
2 would be the one I would think you would go with. The other one is paralysis. You like paralyzing things, but I'm going to go with the weird choice. I'm going to go with slow. I'm going to slow him and then go around him.
That's what I was going to go. 8. I like that. Why is that weird?
Because that's why it's
8.
weird. That's why I thought you would pick that one. So
It's moving at us.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with 8 as well.
All right, so that means we screwed up. All right, so if you're out there on the internet and you want to play the game, 1 is Burning Hands, 2 is Hold Portal, 3 is Sleep, 4 is Magic Missile, 5 is Lightning Bolt, 6 is Paralysis, 7 is Ice Storm, which will also be very fun, 8 is Slow, 9 is Fireball, 10 is just straight up attack. So if you want to do that, we'll give them 10 seconds and then we'll start revealing the answers to folks. It doesn't matter what I say because I'm dead already. So I'm a dead man.
Oh, I think Kelly's getting lazy here. There's a lot of same as. This will be quick.
Okay, good. I like same as. Let's see. All right. I think we're ready to go. Go ahead. Got the answers.
Okay, so number 1 was burning. Is anyone out there? Do we have anyone?
There are people there, but they're maybe we're in the background or something. There are people watching. They're just not.
Okay.
Our usual suspects are not chiming in.
Okay, so 1 was Burning Hands. It works and save you from its attack.
Oh, okay. That would have been the easy one to do.
Okay, someone did Hold Portal, didn't they?
We thought about it, but we didn't do it.
Okay. Same as H1. It works and saves you from its attack.
There you go.
H3, Sleep Spell. It fails, and it quickly grasps you and eats you. It just says it eats you.
Awesome.
Is that what ropers do? Do they?
Yeah,
eat
they have
you?
a giant gaping maw. That was the first time I heard maw. They were in A. Well, I think there was a store roper in A3, and it was like it had a giant gaping maw, which I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
This A series has a lot of interesting creatures. Apparently.
Yep.
Okay. Everything from this point out is either H1 or H3.
Yeah.
Either it works. You want to be H1,
right?
Not H3.
Right.
Okay. So we are now on to 4 Magic Missiles. That is an H1.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. That would have worked. Okay, number 5, Lightning Bolt on it. That is an H3.
Oh.
Cast Lightning Bolt on it, then attack with dagger. Why does that fail?
Yeah.
That's H5. It's the same as H3. Why
No,
is the
no
Lightning
explanation.
Bolt?
We need to get Kelly on and find out that, because I think that should work.
I would think
unless
so.
they're immune to lightning, which I don't think they are.
But if Magic Missiles is working, why is the Lightning Bolt not working?
Yeah, maybe
Everyone's grabbing the books.
All right, I'll grab the monster manual and I'll take a look at the roll.
Vic, welcome to the show.
Oh, they're unaffected by lightning. That's why.
Wow.
Page 83. So sorry, Vic, you're a dead man.
Oh well. Hey, I'm still attacking with the dagger. I have a chance in hell.
That's right. They're unaffected by lightning and cold. Yeah, I liked 5 because I agreed with Vic's thing. Fireball in that small room might have been painful. So go ahead.
Well, you are attacking with the dagger, Vic, but apparently as you attack with the dagger, you're
eating in the giant gaping maw.
You're in the maw, exactly. All right, number 6, the Wand of Paralyzation. Number 6, it fails and quickly grasps you. So are they also immune to paralyzation? Get the book out again.
I didn't read all that, but I'm sure
it away.
I'm sure it is, because or else why would it not work?
right? And I'll keep going while you look that up. Ice Storm would work. Slow Spell works.
Yay.
Fireball works.
Yes, it does, because
Things are like jumping out of the way.
they're highly susceptible to fire.
Oh, but not electricity.
Yeah, I guess the problem is if you get hit, they cause weakness, and then they draw their prey in with their toothy maw, where they're quickly devoured.
Okay. So the fireball works.
But it doesn't
so I
say
guess
anything
it's
about
okay.
paralyzation, so maybe they made their save. I'm not sure, so that kind of sucks.
Oh, it didn't say anything about. Okay. And H10 immediately with dagger. Yeah, no, you're eating.
What about
That's
did Ice Storm work or not?
I believe Ice Storm did. Ice Storm did
Yeah,
work.
because cold only does half damage.
So the lesson here is you want to do fire-based attacks against a roper, but don't do lightning bolt.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
And you should run. You really should just run. I mean, does the roper? You don't need to pick it out again. I wonder if the roper has treasure. I mean, if it has a treasure.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, typically, they
and it's small?
in their guts. Yeah, they have like stuff
Right.
in them. You gotta
They're like a gelatinous
you gotta
cube.
cut them open. So, well, Adrian picked 5. 5 was lightning bolt. So you and Adrian are dead, unfortunately. But you joined me. I died 5 times ago. So it's not a bad place to be. So Vic, what's going on, sir? How are things in your world?
Besides being overly tired, I'm okay.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's your busy time now. It's crazy. I bet.
Yep.
How's?
I got my.
Go ahead.
The let's see here. She's not the Scourge. She's the
Strangler. Ember Strangler.
the Strangler's alive and well. So
I saw your holiday
That's
picture.
good.
That's very nice. I like the minimalist decorations. I like that.
yeah. I got taken over by a druid. She just looked at me this year and said, "No tree," and I said, "Good for me."
There you go. And you're running your game. I know I've seen a lot of things on Discord. How's that going?
Just fine. I just need some more players, some steady players. That's what I'm looking for. So
And this is
we'll see what
and this is on
happens tonight.
Saturday tonight,
Yep,
right?
Tonight at 6:00, and I'll post a link up for anybody who wants to join. And we're in Greyhawk right now I think it's the Snow Barbarians or Ice Barbarians, one of the two, the capital.
Oh, okay.
We're setting off on the adventure to the island of Steroid, which will be included in the book of modules I'm creating. I'm waiting on artwork and some pitting from the publishers to figure out a final price, and I can put it up on Kickstarter. So
Awesome.
waiting on all that nonsense. But with my 60 to 80 hour weeks right now, it's like getting in front of the computer is
Yeah, the last thing
slim and done.
the last thing you want to do is that. But yeah, today we gave away to Thomas Powell. We gave away Keep It Relevant Fall, so which is super cool. I'm sure he's going to be super excited about it.
Okay.
So that was a big win, and but yeah, what I found. So obviously you're not meeting with your Facebook group right now because the group that you had on Facebook. Those players don't want to play on a Saturday because I would assume like the core of them would have wanted.
Oh yeah, they always played on Saturdays before, but COVID has everybody's so dispersed and everything else. It's sort of like, all right, we like playing together.
Sure.
In the it's just, I don't know. We just like playing together better than playing online.
It's so hard to, especially if you've had a group like you said that was so consistent to do that. I've just found like with the online groups, it takes a few sessions to consistently, because people will try it and they'll be like, this is not working for me, or the time's not good. It takes, when we've run our pickup game, it took about. Right, it took a couple of months for you to get some really consistent players, Dan. For a while, it was you had people like I took over for someone else, their character. Right, I took over the paladin that someone else made, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, people came and drifted away, and it was like a turnstile.
It took a while till we got down to like a core 4 or 5 players, and then you'd have people that would be here for a couple of weeks. Dan would kill their character off, and
well, they weren't gnomes, so that's typical of Dan. If it's not a gnome, he's gonna kill it off.
Yes.
Yeah. So at the end, it was just a party of 5 gnomes. It was perfect.
So it's like Gnome Skull.
Exactly.
It's all gnomes.
It's all
gnomes all the time.
gnomes all the time. So, so Vic, what we have left, obviously, we'd love to have you on. I didn't know if you wanted to do the hex crawl. We still are reviewing Dragon 44.
I'll do whatever you guys want to do.
Well, let's go over Dragon 44 with us because this is the last month of that. I will share that if you don't have that.
I have it pulled up here.
Perfect.
I've got it downloaded and everything else.
All right, so let me get that going, and let me get that going, and make it a little fade over. So this is the last month. We are looking at December 1980. Can you believe we've been through the whole year, Dan, of December?
I know.
It's just crazy. So do you see it, Dan, or you need access to it?
I do not see it. I can, of course, pull it up, but that would risk. Oh wait, something seems to be coming.
There you go.
Yay! There it is. Yes, awesome.
All right. So, unfortunately, I'm like, oh, it'll be a holiday theme. No, they're selling not selling, but they're promoting their game Food Fight, which is meh.
Yeah, no.
Do you think that was sort of taken from Animal House?
Yeah,
sort of thing.
It definitely looks like an Animal House picture. So for those sitting there, there's a couple of people reading the Dragon magazine. It looks like some kind of high school or whatever. People drinking some Cokes. Looks like a chessboard or something. No pieces and just mayhem. There's food flying around. So yeah, it's not so great.
No.
I wasn't inspired by it. I would have preferred a giant turkey attacking, the Pilgrim Village. That would have been good.
Now, I had never heard of this Iron Crown. I mean, I've heard of Iron Crown Enterprises, but I had not heard of this world. Enter the world of the Iron Wind. Can be used for any system. Had either of you heard of the world of the Iron Wind?
Not until just now.
Nope.
Right? Yeah, that's interesting.
I'd seen Arms Law, but I'd not seen that.
Yeah. So now I'm intrigued.
Well, did you send your check to P.O. Box 6910 Charlottesville, Virginia? No CODs, I'm sorry.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to check and see what I'm going to check. What is it, Sam's? I'm going to stop by the mall.
Okay.
I'm going to stop by the Scottsdale Mall in Delta, British Columbia at Sam's Toys and Hobbies and ask for it.
Yeah, ask for it by name.
Right?
Tell
them GROGTALK sent you.
Wow, I actually found it on eBay.
Did you?
Yeah.
How much is it?
$111.75.
Wow.
Ouch! I'm not ready to dish that out if I don't know.
Yeah.
It's quality.
Yeah, that's a lot of coin. So, Jay Chiquette, of course, replaced Tim Kask. Kind of like. So we're looking for a new Jay Chiquette. We're looking for
right.
Based on what happened this morning.
Accepting applications.
We are accepting applications.
I didn't hear what happened this morning. What happened this morning?
We really probably shouldn't go back into it. We really should just move on.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we let Rob kind of take complete artistic license on the second edition of Flipping and Turning, and basically what's happened is he's made it into some horrible nomophilia kind of thing. There's some very graphic pictures. So we went over it this morning and we've buried. He said he has disposed of all these illicit copies. It's just so controversial. We didn't want to move forward with it. So
I should look at my mailbox tomorrow and see if I have one.
Well, it's so controversial. We have decreed that all of them will be collected and burned and or buried in the landfill, and so. We don't know if he's shown us pictures of him burying them. We put those videos up, but we did like people like you. We give copies to. Hopefully he didn't send them out. He says he didn't, but we're not sure. It's very graphic. It was disturbing to say the least.
I'll just have to send him his usual bribe, and I'll get one in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Great. Our editor-in-chief is taking money. Right.
He's bribable. Totally bribable.
Have you seen I saw his Facebook with a new car, and he's got new jewelry. It's pretty disturbing. So
His wife is living large.
So then there's cover to cover, and it says this is a huge 112 pages, and then there's largest single feature ever used in a magazine, Food Fight, a complete game designed and developed by Bryce Noor and Kim Mohan of Dragonstaff. Well, good for them. 24 pages of that. So.
Yeah, and I can just tell you, James, there's not going to be many things I'm going to want to discuss. I'm keeping it real here.
Right.
I really liked, I think, the last issue.
The last issue was awesome.
Right, and I don't know if this is, there's a letter in here where the person says he reads Dragon Magazine, now he subscribes, even though he doesn't play D&D, because he appreciates the other games. So there's a lot of other games being discussed in here. There's Top Secret, other games that were very popular.
So do you guys think that Tim Cast might have left the last magazine, the last month's issue, sitting on the drawing table when he left, and this guy picked up from there?
Jake's been there for a few months now at this point, I think.
I think Jake. Yeah, I think Tim Cast was like March or April.
Yeah,
80.
he's been there for a few months.
I appreciate you trying to, defend Mr. Jaquette here. I liked there was, and I don't know where it is. I think it may have been out on the limb. The guy whose DM wouldn't let them buy the players buy Dragon Magazine because they were forbidden because they might read stuff. I thought that was entertaining.
Yeah, we're in Eye of the Limb, and so first they continue with this beard controversy. Yeah. Why is this? It's to the point. It's almost an inside joke, which we totally get. But are people really concerned to the point where someone claims that they're a dwarf, writing the letter saying there are dwarves, female dwarves who have beards and not beards, and it is what it is. So
I do like the one where the guy says that he is a dwarf.
Right.
But then he says, and so you can believe me, but if you get other letters from people claiming to be dwarves, don't trust them.
Right, exactly.
I'm the real dwarf. So yeah, all right. So does anyone ever play a female dwarf? It just seems like that's unusual.
I think nowadays it's a little more popular, but in the past, most people played male dwarves.
Yeah.
And then again, people continue.
Didn't it say somewhere in the Monster Manual or somewhere way back in a magazine that female dwarves were secretive, or they mainly stayed home? They weren't players or something like that?
That's a good question. Not to my.
I'm recalling something way back when where it was written that
well, it's probably in the Roger Moore book.
Honored and protected and kept.
Right. Roger, I'm sure it's something in the Roger Moore Best of Dragon, Volume 3. But there's another article that's another letter that says they don't exist. That's why there's no beards. You don't have to worry about it. So again, it's okay. So then there's again worth every bit. Blah 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 blah. Then fantasy modeling. So there's a magazine premiere issue. That's interesting. So,
of course, the female.
At least her breasts are somewhat covered, so that's good. Nothing says when you're hanging out with giant creatures, you want to be dressed like that. So if you want to complain about this, you can go to Fantasy Modeling Department DP, 475 Park Avenue South, New York, New York. Wow, that's a fancy place. Next is The Lure of the Golden Godling. This looks like a story. I didn't read it. Did you read it?
I did not. No, I did not.
Boot Hill. I like Boot Hill. I like this picture, but we don't read it for Boot Hill. And the same thing with Top Secret. What they do, Alan Hammock, a good friend of ours, friend of the show, they statted a lot of the famous agents, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought I did look at the stats for Maxwell Smart.
Right.
I thought that was funny. His stats are terrible.
His stats are horrible. But his coordination's off the chart. So as in
I was disappointed
59.
Agent 99.
Agent 99 statted. She's not yeah,
Agent 99?
she's right underneath him.
Oh,
Do
I
you
missed
still
that.
see what I'm showing or not?
No, I am stuck on this
Yeah,
model.
I don't know. It like works for a while, and then doesn't work. Let's try it again. How about now? You see it again? You see darkness?
Wait, there it is. There it is. Yeah. Okay, James. Let me see.
Scroll up again. Right there.
So.
Agent 99.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Yes.
That's okay.
I don't know why I missed that.
All right, moving on.
Yeah,
so this, they have some of the famous people. King of the Mountain is the next one. Did you read this one?
I did not. If it's it's fiction, right? No, I'm not. No. I only read articles that are dealing with probably 1E rules.
Now this to me would be great. Nothing says holiday cheer like Holocaust.
Right.
You must unite these survivors to fight whatever caused this Holocaust. So it's a game apparently where you go and you have survive a Holocaust. And you have to and it's a pay by month, which again, I guess maybe I didn't realize back then. I thought that was kind of a new thing where you paid a monthly, besides monthly magazines, but this idea of pay to play on a monthly basis, I didn't really think about. But if you want to play that, maybe it's still available at New World Research and Marketing, Department D1 in Detroit, Michigan, P.O. Box 05032. I assume you read this one, Humanoid Races in Review.
I read some of them. I mean, this is people coming up with their ideas of how the race is developed. And I mean, this is not canon. No, I was not particularly interested in this.
I particularly like the go down, James, and you'll find look what it says for gnomes on the next page.
Yes. Yeah, no, I didn't like that. This is where they're like
they are. You mean they are racial variation of subspecies of the dwarvish type? Absolutely.
No. You can't keep reading here. The next sentence.
Crossbreeds of dwarves and other races were found to exist, it's possible they would be sterile. I love it. There's no reason to suspect that such a cross would have any extraordinary attributes. That is absolutely correct, sir.
Why is he saying this under dwarves? I mean, under gnomes, though. It's about dwarves.
Because they are a derivative, which.
All right. Now,
Homo Sasquatch. I like that. And they're. And read with our amateurish, boyish, immature selves, these rare members of genus Homo are extremely shy. That may be technically correct. It's just not a great sentence. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It was a different time.
In this day and age, it would
not pass the test.
It would not pass.
But now, how about Fantasy Genetics 2? Did you read this one?
Which one's out? I hasn't scrolled down.
Yes,
I read
that's the Roger Moore one.
I've used the Roger Moore one, so this is the only reason. The only reason why this is going to get any stars at all. This issue was because of that one. See, this is what I like about this article is that it is building on something that we know, right? The monster manual says orcs will breed almost anything. So we know
that's the word that David Thompson said, we had to learn, but Verkund, that's right.
Yeah, so we know from the I mean, that's canon. That's Gary Gygax. We know that there are a lot of half-orc breeds out there. And what always interested me, it was that there was not stats for them. So, half-orcs. As orcs will breed, I like this, with anything.
Yes.
Anything. There are many number of unsavory mongrels with orcish blood, particularly orc goblins, orc hobgoblins, and of course orc humans, so they cannot crossbreed with elves. So what I like about this is that he is giving stats for things that we feel quite confident in canon exist, correct?
Right.
So I thought like an orc gnoll and an orc bugbear was kind of, really?
Gnolls got to have love too.
Okay. Orc bugbear.
Well, here's where I find it funny. Somewhere in the monster manual, there is a troll that has crossbred inside one of the monster manuals with another creature. I don't remember where it is, but here, this is the sentence is wrong here, where it
Yeah,
says
well, a troll and isn't a troll and
kill
is it a
giant.
troll and
Isn't
an
it?
Etten?
There's
Yeah, well,
two-headed
there's a
troll
two-headed
is
troll.
an
What's a
Etten,
two-headed
and
troll?
then there is a giant troll, which is a hill giant and a troll, if I remember correctly.
Right. So obviously, at this time, he had not read the new Monster Manual 2 or whatever, because I think that's where it's found.
Well,
A lot of them are in the
Fiend
Fiend Folio, I think, a lot of them. Let me see. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, the Fiend Folio is a giant two-headed troll on page 90. This ferocious Etten troll crossbreeds. These ferocious Etten troll crossbreeds are two-headed. So that's for that one. And you said what the giant? Oh, and a giant troll is also on the same page. Giant
Right.
trolls are hideous hill giant troll crossbreeds.
Right. And,
So that's become canon.
and then the Ogrillion, of course, is an orc and an ogre.
Right.
Oh, that's right. So the orc ogre stats actually. Thank you for pointing that out. So Roger Moore's orc ogre stats would be overridden
Right.
by the 1981. I wonder where the
Page 70 on the Fiend Folio is the Ogrillion.
Yes, the orc ogre crossbreed. Yeah, I wonder how it's different. It is. He had 2 + 2. They're only 2, so actually a little bit. And they only had 1 attack. And they've okay, so that's interesting. They are different.
Yep.
And they got the chaotic. It was interesting. I would have thought they could be neutral evil, because you got the neutral and you've got the lawful, right?
Yep. Well, let's go to.
You know what's also interesting too, I was thinking about, was that the Fiend Folio has a lot of monsters from the Fiend Factory, correct? From White
That's
Dwarf.
my understanding. Yep.
But White Dwarf was not TSR.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, TSR, right?
Right.
So that's just kind of interesting. So they were non-TSR Was there a deal to be able to use? Did White Dwarf sell those monsters to TSR to use? Because we know Imagine magazine was TSR's Draven equivalent in the UK, if I recall. So isn't that right? I wonder if they sold.
Well, it just says it's worth noting that contributions to the Fiend Folio tome have come from many parts of the world: the UK, USA, Australia, Canada, and Europe. That's on page 3 of the introduction.
Yeah, so
Well,
maybe
it doesn't say on the front here. I'm looking at the legal ease.
Yeah,
anything that's.
maybe they just gave them up free of charge. They said, "Here, take them,
Yeah.
use them." Right? Well, look, they owe particular thanks to Albie Fiore,
That's right.
who was with White Dwarf, major contributor to the Fiend Folio project. I did not know that. I had not read that. I owe particular thanks to Albie Fiore, who, in addition to being a major contributor to the Fiend Folio project, has done an enormous amount of work during its preparation, acting as my second pair of eyes, bringing to my attention possible deficiencies and inconsistencies, suggesting improvements, and coordinating all the printing. Albie's help has been invaluable. So that's very interesting. So there's a lot of White Dwarf TSR cooperation happening here.
It sounds
right?
that way, but yes, because it clearly, I'm sure if we went through the White Dwarves, we would find many of these, if not direct copies, but pretty close.
Yeah, because they come from the Fiend Factory,
Yeah,
so
let's
many
see.
of them. Okay.
So the Knoll is so we've got some in the chat. Yep, and as Ragnar said, Games Workshop published White Dwarf, and they were the UK distributor of D&D originally. Yep, so they had some business relationship. That makes sense. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, licensing agreement. Yeah.
And Fred said there's a rumor that a Knoll was a cross between a troll and a gnome. Yes, I remember that. We talked about that. That a Knoll was a crossbreed of a Knoll and a troll. So
that was that in OD&D or one of the basics or something?
yeah, I think it was one of the basics. That's just why I love basic. This is why I'm going back to either Holmes or Moldvay or whatever that popped up in, because
just because of that.
Right, because they're monsters, and but yeah, I think it was basic. I'm gonna look it up because I feel like I have to. So Knoll. All right, so keeping going. Yes, Knolls are rumored to be the result of magical combination of a gnome and a troll by an evil magic user. What else do you want to say?
So at least it's magical. So it wasn't like there was some amorous.
Well, there could have been, but it may have needed, like an in vitro clinic. You need the help, assistance.
Oh, we come to you. We need your help. Right.
This love can't produce what we'd like it to. So we
want a baby. We want a baby. And then oh great, and because of that, and that doctor who like saw the love, decided to do it, be a nice guy. The
That's
road to
right.
hell is paying attention. We have Knowles.
Yeah, if loving a troll is wrong, I don't want to be right. There you go.
Okay.
All right, so we got more genetics.
And I find this one interesting, gentlemen, because if you've ever played the Scarlet Brotherhood, this falls right into the Scarlet Brotherhood stuff here, where they've putting two races together to create different hybrids and stuff like that. It's written well in the Scarlet Brotherhood book.
Okay.
And it's most of these combinations fail miserably, but
Yeah, it's
Every now and then.
It's that idea of mad scientists and all these abominations are created. Yep.
right, necromancers and everything else.
So if you didn't have enough genetics, there's been 4 articles about genetics. Half and half isn't always full. So that's the latest one I'm on, Dan. And again, now they're actually going over the specific dominant versus recessive genes. Do we really need all this? I don't know.
I didn't.
I didn't need.
No.
I did not need all that. So okay, moving on. Oh, the Midwest. Midwest is Dungeons and Dragons country. Let's see. Looking for Minnesota. These places, we'll see if they're still here. They don't have any Minnesota. Apparently, Minnesota is not in the Midwest.
No, we're too far gone.
Because they got Illinois, they got Wisconsin, Indiana, Colorado. Well, that's weird, Colorado, if you're going to go that far out. For those who are not in the United States, that's almost west, I would consider. So,
and I don't even recognize any of these shops just per se. I don't even think any of these are still open myself.
well, and especially now with the if they did survive 30, 40 years from now, this pandemic may have done them in if they had. I like the Viking Hobby Shop. Well worth a trip to Mundelein, Illinois. Mundelein, excuse me. Yeah, you've been everywhere, so you would know. All right, now we're on Sage Advice. I don't remember seeing anything controversial here, per se, except that something that was changed later, which is the second one. May a character cast a spell by reading aloud from his spellbook? So the answer is absolutely not, but of course in the book that shall not be named, they allow this to happen now.
Yes. Well, in the book that shall not be named, I've had characters. What they did is they ripped the spell out of the book and used it as a scroll. Then, and it disappeared. That spell had disappeared then off the page.
Yeah.
Just like a normal scroll.
Yeah.
So
in the book that shall not be named, it says whether you can rip it out or not. There is, yes, the spell definitely goes away, and there's a 1% chance that the page before it gets ruined or after, and then there's a 1% chance that the whole book basically explodes into flames because you did this horrible act. And one of the characters in Tom's game that I play on Wednesday, he's been using that, and the problem becomes, well, now you basically have this giant scroll book, because then they go, it's fine, we'll just create another book. You really have to, I don't want to say punish it, but you're now allowing them to use their spell book as a scroll book. Yes, it does take a long time to recreate one, but if you are fighting evil magic users, you're going to find their spell book, and all of a sudden that spell book becomes your one. So that's basically what's happening now. But here, Jim Ward and Will Niebling are saying, absolutely not. It doesn't create any power per se. It's basically just the recipe. So.
And I think there were a couple interesting things here. This question: is it okay for a monk, lawful neutral to speak, to sneak up on an opponent and then backstab? Is this act chaotic? Is this evil? And look at this answer: the act of killing a victim without knowing if he or she is truly an enemy. In other words, killing a complete stranger without knowing if he or she presents a threat is a chaotic act. Okay, fine. I assume that we can assume we've all read the monster manual, and you see an orc, you know is evil, right? But this is what's interesting: the act of killing an opponent with the knowledge that there is some other way to overcome him or her is an evil act. It would be permissible for the lawful neutral monk or any other similar aligned being to attack a known enemy from the back when circumstances make it necessary to kill that foe. Okay, whoa, we got to talk about this. If I'm lawful, I have to think I can only kill if there's not another way to
it's like it's almost like a use of force
character.
matrix, like the police do. You got to use the least force necessary.
Right.
Is there a policy? Is there a policy manual? Is there a do you go to court?
Right. What do you guys agree with? So do you agree with that? I mean, so I know it's an evil. So I've got to like throw a net over this white and like do what with it? Why am I? What am I doing? Right? I mean, it's like you guys didn't you have them all like you're like chained them all along because they were your guide or whatever, right? I mean, and so you had like, or it's like undead that you're chaotic and they're your buddies now, and you got this undead army following you around in the dungeon. I mean, what do you guys think about
I think part of it is, I'll let Vic speak after. What I also find interesting is I've never thought, I know that monks have thieving abilities, but it doesn't say that they can backstab. Backstab is the purview of thieves.
Yes.
So, though we had a character in our thing wanting to backstab, and the DM allowed it, and I wasn't going to sit there and argue with him, but it's it specifically says monks have these thieving skills. It doesn't say they have all the thieving skills.
Right. But okay, here's my question: is where does it become? Why is it? Do the monks have to fight in a certain style for the lawful? Is there like a code of chivalry for monks to kill somebody, or?
Well, and Vic, that's. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just speculating here. Is there like this? Oh, I've got to confront you like a bad Hayam movie or something, like.
But if you look, Vic, that's not. I mean, that's a very good point. But that does not seem to be what Jim and Will are saying, because the sentence is the act of killing an opponent with the knowledge that there is some other way to overcome him or her is an evil act. So it's not even a chaotic act; it's an evil act. So this is going to apply to all characters who are good, and it has nothing to do with monks. It's an align. It seems to me this is a statement about alignment. Right, and that's and what's interesting is it's not even it. But what's interesting, But so you're lawful neutral, and they're saying you can't do it. So is it also a chaotic act? Well, because the question was a lawful neutral monk. Well, they say that I know. So killing somebody that you don't know if they're evil is a chaotic act. Okay.
Well, it's a complete stranger without knowing he or she presents a threat is a chaotic act. So in this case, the white is a threat. If you know white is a malevolent undead creature, that's not a problem. And I think that's.
But then well, wait. But then
this would be like subduing a guard or something like that, I would assume.
Exactly.
Well, wait, are you sure? Because the next sentence seems to qualify the first sentence. It then says the act of killing an opponent with the knowledge that there is some other way to overcome him or her is an evil act. So it sounds like that, right? I mean, I don't get to kill the. So the first question is, are you a threat? Are you an enemy? Right? That's what it says. An enemy. Is a white an enemy? We can say a white's an enemy.
Right.
We've all
correct.
Right. Then the next question is, I don't know. Don't you have to keep going? So the next question is, okay, fine. You're an enemy. How do I have to handle you? Well, if I am good, do I have to now not kill you if there's a way for me to capture? And I understand what you're saying, Vic, that you're like a guard or something. I mean, the white, what am I doing? Sending the white to rehab?
No, the white is an unrepentant evil thing. There's no way you can fix an evil white.
Right.
They are, but now we're back to the orc situation, right? If you play orcs as unrepentant evil, they are brewed out of Saruman's pits. That they're not the new conscious orcs that can they came from a bad environment. They can't be rehabilitated. They will, if they don't kill now, they'll kill later. So if they surrender, then that's the question of do you allow them? And typically, Right. What was
Gary-
Gary?
Well, I'm just, I'm reading this, gentlemen, as they're attacking a guard. I mean, this is what I'm reading here. Is it he's sneaking up on a guard or something that's guarding a portal or whatever, and he's attacking. Does he attack to kill, or does he attack to subdue, or you know what I'm saying? I mean, and this is why he's saying it's an evil act. If it's an unknown, foe. The foe is unknown.
It's a chaotic. That one's a chaotic, right? That's a chaotic act, right?
Right.
All right. I mean, I guess again, it's so we can have alignment discussions forever. I thought that was interesting because I don't necessarily agree with that, and I don't think that he's saying, and I think it's a good point about the backstab. I think Jim and Will probably should have pointed out, well, you don't get to backstab, because I think what Jim and Will are saying here is like they say anybody can attack from behind. They're just saying you get to attack from behind, right? You can backstab. You just don't get the backstab, right? You can say, if you're a fighter, you can be like, I'm going to go behind him and backstab, and I would say fine.
Right, but you don't get the multiplier. You don't get the +4 to hit. You get a +2 to hit or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. And what about this next question, subdual?
Yep.
I always thought subdual meant I'm like knocking you to your unconscious. This talks about subdual like you're like cowering and you're like scared. Like I give up. Did you guys read that?
Right. Yeah, I read it, and that's it's the idea of you're yielding. When you're like the knights fight each other and the other one just basically yields. He kind of goes, okay, you got me.
So if I satisfy, because there's subdual, I mean, we don't need to go through it, obviously, right? But there's subdual. That's isn't that part of the grappling stuff or no?
Well, there's subdual damage. Like first, it's noticed in dragons, right? You can do subdual damage to the dragon, and eventually it will just cower. It'll just surrender. It'll say, okay, that's it. I'm done. And you can do non-lethal damage by it talks about using the flat end of your sword or whatever, and same kind of thing. But the idea is there you're pummeling them down till they get knocked out. So that's why and he's saying that's a little bit different.
Yeah, because so 67, it's not that long. It says striking to subdue. This is effective against some monsters, and other creatures of humanoid size and type, as indicated in the monster manual or herein. Wait, what does that mean? So it has to indicate in the monster manual that I can use subdual against
Apparently. Well, the dragon has it specifically about it, subduing.
Right. As indicated in the monster manual, under dragons or herein, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So I can use it on anybody. But why does it say this is effective against some monsters, as indicated in the monster manual? Or herein. So I guess the or herein is I can use. So or herein means whatever is following now. I can use this on whatever. I guess.
Yes.
Right.
I think the intent is some creature you cannot subdue a zombie. I know it's mindless, or you can't subdue.
But remember, you guys, that it's got the rule here. It's a semi-intelligence and higher.
Right.
You're able to subdue them. So, I mean, you're going to have to look at inside the book, their intelligence, flip over to the first couple pages, look and see where he's at. And then you're able to go from there on out to see if subduing is actually even possible.
Yeah, and some of these may be mindless. Like, if it says it will fight to the death, you can't subdue it. That would be my ruling on that.
Right.
So this is an important question here then in Sage Advice, because the subdual discussion is very brief. It always led me to believe, because you become unconscious, don't you? I always assumed I'm pummeling you to your unconscious, but this is clarifying that subdual is actually, if I use subdual attack, it is that you're going to cower at some point, right?
Well,
when do you cower?
Sure, and that's you're going to have to go to your morale roll, I guess. You're going to have to get down to that point that you're rolling a morale and to find out what, if the way I look at it is if you're, and you've got them cornered, and they fail their morale check and they're going to try to escape and they have no way to escape. That's the last thing they're going to do is you're going to start trying to surrender to you, which is actually subduing. So
you could use, the assumption also would be is you may be using the rules for subduing a dragon on page 30.
Right.
And it's a ratio of all hit points based on, and then you take the total hit points scored in melee round versus their overall, you get a roll percentage every round, and if they fail, then they're subdued.
What was that What dragon number? Is it
Page
best of?
30. No, it's on the Monster Manual, page 30 for subduing a dragon. It gives you the...
Oh, dragon. Subduing a dragon. I said subduing in dragon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure there
It's
may
one
be
of the
ones
things
later.
that needs to be cleared up if they ever made a Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Premium Edition. This is one of those rules that needs to be redefined and cleared up so that people can, Dungeon Masters can rule judiciously on it, because there's going to be some leeway here on this one. So
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, if I didn't have any rules, this is what I would use. If people say we're going to subdue the ogre, this is what I would use if I was going to do that.
Okay.
right.
Okay. I thought it was if things like learning languages, if that was real time, like you have to wait like whatever years or something. But when you take a character out of action to learn a new language, does normal time apply to the character? He seems to be asking. Well, it seemed to be asking if like all activities are defined in terms of game time. I mean, was the question like, do I have to wait years? Literally years, not
Oh.
game.
No, game years.
I thought it was a weird question. I
Yeah.
don't know what the question is. The
But
past-
with languages, I mean, Italian to Spanish and Spanish or Italian to Romanian, you could pick up certain words and stuff like that. It'd be easier to pick up words, languages, because they have that base language there that you're listening to. You know what I mean? So Spanish and Italian is fairly similar, but not exactly. But you'd be able to pick up enough conversation, or you could eventually learn it quickly enough compared to another language. Let's say Amazonian Indian or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha. I gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I had on. I mean, I guess it's nice to know that bards get a bonus spells for wisdom, right? So
Yeah, they get everything because it takes so long to do it.
they're a cleric. The bards have clerics.
They have druid spells.
Oh, druids. That's what. Okay, druids. Gotcha. Right.
Yeah, they have druid spells, and so again, druids have been assigned to do that. All right, moving on to the next one. So miniatures and giants of the earth, which we've said we never read these, though they basically stat out famous characters. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I did like it had like this giant mouse from Narnia. I thought he was kind of cool.
Oh, that's true. Yep. Reap a cheap.
I'll let you say it.
Intelligent mouse who walks erect on his hind legs. Awesome. All right. You know what I want to find? The Colonies is a fantasy play-by-mail game of the early American colonies. This is what we should have done for Thanksgiving. Find the fated cities of gold, cross the sea. I don't know, have dinner with the native tribes. Bring them smallpox-laden blankets.
Well, there's always next year.
That's right. All right, so back to monsters. Here's, again, always tough to read articles or look at articles from Len Lakofka since he recently passed. Monsters, how strong is strong? So he kind of goes over the strength of like leaders and animals, and eventually in later editions, they stat everyone with stats, which is good or bad. One of the things there's been debate about when the system got better and better, as the newer editions, they made everything into almost a character with attributes. It just made everything take longer. To make a dragon in first edition is pretty easy. To make a dragon in third or fourth edition, you've got to figure out all their feats, their skills, their abilities, because they're basically just a very high-level fighter or a very, combination of classes. And, this is kind of moving down that because, again, well, how strong is the lizard man? Well, now, because there's no stats, you have to figure it out.
Yeah, and it seemed to me a classic Len Lakofka kind of article, which is, we could do this better. So, that he points out that you're actually stronger. If you have a girdle of whatever strength, you're actually stronger than and doing more damage than the monster itself.
Right.
So probably right, but I don't know that I want to redo all the rules on monster strength.
Right, exactly. right, so fourth was the opposite, but third. So Ragnar's, yeah, and I didn't play third or fourth. I know there was discussion that how that changed over time, and that third did that. Since I didn't play either of them, I don't remember that. So, but this idea of you get in those situations where like you need to open a door. Well, again, monsters should open the doors automatically. Doesn't matter what they are. So that's what this article is about, giving strength and bonuses, which I guess is okay.
And then I go down below there, guys. If you go scroll even further down, it even suggests giving bigger new XPs for these monsters too,
nice.
because of their strength and stuff.
Right. But this is a trend that continues. All right, so blah, 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 blah. All right, Thieves Guild. Oh, here's your suggested new XP, which... All right, that's really cool. Somewhat cool. All right, so history of games and gaming. Again, we didn't read this. The convention schedule for CoastCon 81 in Biloxi. We should probably show up there, Dan.
Well, I like, usually Gen Con South, and I always remember seeing that in Dragon Magazine and be like, oh, that'd be amazing if I could go. It's like at a Ramada Inn. I mean, I'm not saying Ramada Inn's not a nice facility for it, but you know what I mean? I think I probably had a different image. I think I probably would have pulled up and been like, this is Gen Con South. I could be wrong.
Right.
It may have been amazing. And Richie went to Gen Con South. But you know what I mean? It was like, because the Gen Con name was like amazing. And I wonder if Gen Con South was basically just like 100 people, in a Ramada Inn.
I'm sure it was.
I think I read something about Gen Con South being a little larger than that, but I don't remember exactly.
It would be interesting, yeah, because it was, it looked like a smallish venue.
Or we could go to the Valley Forge Shopping Center in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, where they're America's headquarters for fantasy games. So,
I've actually been there, but I didn't see any fantasy game shop when I was there back in the 90s.
So then there's Food Fight. I didn't read this. I don't want a board game about throwing food at each other.
No.
I had no desire for it. But there's some interesting art. Again, it just reminds me of Earl Otis's cover that we saw with his high school, not derivative, but subversive high school pictures that he had. So, So if you want to read it, if you want to play this game, there you go. 24 pages of it. So I'm scrolling fast.
Yes.
And I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling. Look at the principal's office. Okay. I'm scrolling, and I'm scrolling. Welcome to the podcast where I scroll. And we're scrolling, and it's just, okay. I still love this where they promote suicide with the don't jump. That would not fly today.
Well, and was that guy, did they actually put it around him? Like, that sounds like a dangerous prop there, doesn't it? That's an accident waiting to happen. Like, here, tie this concrete block around your neck on this rope and get on this bridge, and we'll take a picture of you. Okay.
Hold on. It does seem awful dangerous, even if it's a wood block.
Yes. Yes. There's an OSHA violation there.
He didn't read the contract.
Yeah. It was a simpler time.
All right, so a lot.
Yeah, too many lawyers.
A lot of comments on Willingham. Obviously, he did a lot of the artwork here, and he's still active. And I know Leroy's been trying to urge him to come on, and he hasn't responded yet. So that would be fun if we could have him on. Then Dragon Tooth. So I'm there you go. I just put back, he's on Twitter. Of course, there's a lot of people on Twitter who are probably dead. They're just keeping their things going. So more stories. don't care. I hate to be that way. Dragon Tales, Logan's Run. I love that movie. That'd be. I don't know how good a game it would be. The rules are $1. I should call Sanctuary Games, see if we can get the rules for Logan's Run. That would be super cool. All right, scroll. Here comes the Judges Guild. So Dan, you're the expert on Judges Guild, and look who wrote the article for that.
Yep, our friend Bill Fawcett. So, and there's one in there that I might take a look at. So I was interested to look at his reviews. He's a nice, Bill's a nice guy. So he's not, he's being kind on these reviews. And he didn't review any of, I think, the real famous ones. I mean, he did Duck Tower, which was Janelle, and he likes it, not surprisingly. I mean, anything Janelle did, it's going to be good. But there's a couple in there that I might take a look at, but none of these, it's not Teagle Manor. It was older. It's not Dark Tower. It's not the Caverns of Thracia. But it was, it's kind of. I have one of those actually. There's one in there. What is it? It's the one with the Druid and the Ranger. I don't see the picture. I can't remember the name of it. It's something. It's a 2-party adventure. Just 2-player adventure. You run. Yeah, Druid and a Ranger start trapped, and you got to get your way out. So I always thought that might be something kind of fun to play with. It's a thinking person's adventure. I thought it might be
sounds painful. Yeah. So and later, I think they take a slam at Judges Guild around here somewhere.
They do. Somebody says that. Why can't you put out 2 mag? That was the guy who wanted. He was complaining about his DM wouldn't let him read Dragon Magazine.
That's right. That's coming up still, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Judges Guild puts out magazine or whatever, and put out the Dungeoneer. Why can't you do 2? And they said, well, yeah, they took a little bit of. They didn't like being compared to Judges Guild. So
now they talk about the Black Knight again. I don't do a whole lot of history, as terrible as it sounds. 3 reviews of the. Too bad this thing doesn't sound so great, but the Dungeon of Death. I thought that was Vic's standard dungeon. That's like his introductory dungeon to his campaign, the Dungeon of Death.
No. Mine's a hex crawl. I hex crawl them around until they find something that.
Hex crawl of death.
You're wrong, James. It's a hex crawl.
Well, a hex crawl can be a dungeon. I mean, it's just what's the difference? You're wandering underground. The other one, you're wandering above ground. You know.
It's the difference between a grid crawl and a hex crawl.
Right.
All right, so now we're up to the Dragon Bestiary. And meh.
It was okay. I mean, they were winter based, I guess, because of the holidays. Right. They were okay. I hate to say that because it's Roger Moore, and usually everything Roger Moore touches is gold. I'm hard to impress with new monsters. I'm a kind of guy like the Monster Manual's got a lot of stuff in there that I can work with.
The Kud.
I think isn't the Cryo Serpent the same as a snow snake? Isn't there like a snow snake or something like that in one of these Monster Manual 2? Wasn't there one like that?
I think so. It sounds familiar, Vic. Some kind of and if it wasn't, it was in the Fiend Folio. I mean, there's one of those has some kind of ice snake thing.
Oh, now we're gonna pop up.
Well, that's what we do here. You know us. We flip and turn. We're turners and flippers.
Flipping and turning.
The only thing I found interesting about this, there was a reference to the white worm, right, which is a snow variety of the purple worm. I love stuff like that, right, like the white pudding from the Giant series. And I also liked there was a reference to gnolls fighting this big winter worm. And so there's gnolls in cold weather regions. Is this true?
Yes.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. Is it because they wear fur or something? That's
and it was they're forced into the into those into that region by persecution.
They're persecuted.
Yeah.
Well, I had not thought about. Hang on, where's the Arctic region?
Maybe Deities and Demigods has one in the Newton section. There's some, I remember seeing it because it's like, there's so many creatures. It's hard to keep up with them.
Well, have you noticed in Monster Manual 2 that they put snakes again, but they did it sort of differently. where they've got two, in the Monster Manual they had snakes, and then Monster Manual 2 they had snakes again, but they don't have it.
There you go.
Folio.
Thank you, Jonathan. The Snow Serpent.
There you go.
Oh.
In page 87 of the Deities and Demigods.
Oh, what pantheon?
The new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's Fafnir
Fafnir and
Greymaster,
Greymaster.
right?
Yep.
Okay. And yes, gnolls will be in subarctic, and they won't be in Arctic, of course, but they will be in subarctic. And okay, ready for this? Here it is. If you encounter a gnoll in the subarctic, 20% of these encounters will include what other type of creature?
Carnivorous frost badger. No, I just.
What wolves? Wolves.
Flins.
Flins. The
Ooh,
flins.
I don't even know what a flint is.
It's a fiend folio.
Of course it is. I don't know what it is. Oh, they're big boys. Oh, okay. Oh, they're relatives of gnolls.
Yes. They're the smart. They're the
so
smart ones, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, intelligence. Well, average. That may be pretty good for their powerful. Okay, all right. So yeah, gnolls. So that was those monsters didn't really interest me all that much. Those three. I don't know.
Well, snow campaigns can be tough to adjudicate, but they're sort of fun. You start laying traps like crevasses and stuff like that, and you have people walking, just like traps in a dungeon. You walk them through the ice, and they're instead of tapping their way through or stuff with their 10-foot pole, they're now down a crevice, and they've got to figure out how to get out, and they've suffered fall damage and stuff like that.
Okay,
So.
yeah. Sounds like fun.
You read.
Do I hear the Emperor Strangler?
You read.
Yes, the Emperor Strangler is upstairs moving about.
You read you read Fafnir and Greymaster recently, correct?
I've read a fair number of them.
Okay. I thought it
yes.
was recent you were doing that. So.
Well, it was like a year ago. I don't remember encountering the snow serpent.
A game designer work. Hobby games distributors. Nothing in Minnesota. There's.
Well, it's typical.
Well, let's see. So yeah, I'm looking for the last. Nothing but the ho 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 truth. Okay. Did you read this one? I think this is where they talk about his. Yeah, this is the one they talk about Santa Claus's stats. That's right.
But they didn't stat him, right? They didn't stat him.
Yeah, they just said he's a magic user, intelligence 18, probably has a high wisdom, strength and con are less clear.
Well, they do stat him sort of in there. I mean, they give his dexterity a 17 or 18 and stuff.
I wanted deities and demigods like stat
Block.
block. Right? Make it easy for me. Don't make me read this whole thing and create it myself.
And they didn't go with gnome. That's the other thing, if I remember correctly from this.
He's not an elf. I think he is a human.
He says he's decided not to go there with that. All right, well, here's out on limb. Okay. So, so this back to your shape up. The DM is again school kids, talking about Will o' the Wisps that they somehow survived, and
oh yeah, the DM. Oh, that guy. Usually they say let the DM do whatever they want to do. So this is one of these letters complaining about the DM, right? That classic one. My DM did this, and usually they are tough on the letter writer, saying, look, they're the DM, it doesn't matter. This guy gets called a bozo, this DM.
Yeah, he gets the bozo.
Right? Because the Will-O-Wisp was easily defeated. And they were really rough on that poor guy.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But yeah, here's the lowly players. I just can't, I guess it's been so long since I've been a teenager kid. I enjoy your magazine, but can rarely get a copy because of my DM. He'll tell us we're not to buy issues. What kind of power are these? Is it a cult now?
Yeah, and listen, keep reading because it is. He just follows. He's like, I've been ordered, basically.
Yeah, I've been prevented from subscribing. What is this?
Prevented from subscribing.
And by the time our DM finishes screening issues, they're sold at our local hobby store. Even though I can see his position where dungeon module is concerned, it's still very frustrating. There are several things you could do. Yeah, clearly Mark separated from the rest of the magazine. The idea is danger of play is reading the section. And again, then he asked for, could you do exclusively Journal or Dungeoneer? Surely if Judges Guild. So it says, gosh, Jimmy, the reply from Jake, I I don't know who to rake over the coals first. Your DM for being so high-handed, or you for comparing us to Judges Guild?
Ouch.
Seriously, the dragon is meant to be read by DMs and players alike. I'm trying to see if he says anything. Okay. And for the record, both the Journal and Dragoneer are published bi-monthly, so they're only getting out 12 magazines a year, same as us. There you go. Wow. So that's a slam too. Yeah, maybe the DM, maybe the DM's the parent's parent. Maybe it's the parent of the.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because I'd be like, really?
Hey, Dad, can I get
like,
Dragon? No, but you can get Hustler. You know, that's the kind of thing. I'm not quite sure.
Be a normal teenager.
Why are you getting Dragon? I don't want you to have Dragon.
I just want to read Dragon.
You can read Flipping and Turning episode 2. That's what you can read in the brown bag. That's right. Exactly. Oh
God! They even gave a food fight.
Oh, it's just so. I mean,
that's a waste of the magazine.
No, this, in my opinion, is a rough one.
Yeah.
If for someone who's buying this for first edition, if I spent the money on this for first edition, I'm not happy.
Yeah, and nothing says fun like cutting out chits of bread, tea, spinach chits that you can move around the thing, and a splat token. That sounds.
Splat Token. That's the band. We are Splat Token.
We are Splat Token. So.
Boo.
You suck.
You suck.
You suck.
We're not Splat Token. We're a new band. We're changing our name.
Whatever. You guys are.
You know what I thought would be fun, and I don't know if these exist. Okay, ready for this? Because Vic, this may want to be an offering by Angry Dice Games. I'm helping you out. You're really the marketing genius, but I'm gonna try to help. And I think I've got a good idea. So be nice to me, all right? It's like Shark Tank here. You know the fuzzy dice that people hang from their car? You know their mirror. Well, what about fuzzy polyhedrals?
I think I've already seen them before.
Oh, have they? Probably has been taken. But that's nothing. That's all you're saying. That's it. I've seen them before.
Yeah, I think I've seen them before. It's nothing new, you know.
So Vic, I don't know if you heard before this. We are going to reenact next time on the 19th. I don't know if you're available December 19th. We're going to reenact the famous scene in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer where Yukon Cornelius, Simon the elf. It's actually, I think Clarice is there too, and Rudolph face the the abominable monster.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and review the film then and write some detailed notes of this battle.
So if you want to DM us, we will be the party, right, Dan? Do you want us to be the party? We'll be the party, and you can be the DM and we assume he'll be a Yeti, so you can stat him as a Yeti. And we've said that Cornelius is a first level ranger. And we'll be using Simon's just an elf, Monster Manual elf. He's not a fancy elf or anything. And Clarice and Rudolph will be small goats, right? We said goats. They're normal goats.
I think we're going to start with goats, yes.
They're like 1+2 hit dice.
So the elf has a secondary skill of dentistry, right?
Dentistry, right. That's right. He will have...
Could be necessary.
And we may fight to subdue now that we know the rules. Because that's what happens. We may parlay. So if you want to join us for that, we would love for you to DM that encounter. So you let us know in a couple of weeks your schedule when you want to come on. But that's the holiday special we want to do.
All right. I will endeavor to get a green screen like you, and maybe we'll play it in the background. I've got my projector down here somewhere. Maybe I can figure out how to do that where I can play it in the background.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah,
We can stop motion and go, okay, now here's...
we got compliments from Jonathan. They used the adventure in Flipping and Turning, so that's super cool. Issue 1. I'm not sure what he's going to get in issue 2, whether there will be one or not. So
reviewing mine.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. And the terrible monster was in there. That was Vic's contribution.
That was terrible.
Well, it's supposed to be in the next one too, but we'll see what happens with that since it's been burned at the stake.
Well, some have been buried, some have been Rob has provided proof of evidence that he's gotten rid of the episode. It's kind of like And now we're going to have the green version of Flipping and Turning. The orange version of Flipping and Turning issue 2 has been disposed of and shall never be spoken again.
Until I see it in my mailbox. And
Till you see it on eBay, apparently, is what's going to happen.
Written about, or this is written about, in like the history of GROGTALK 20 years from now. The book that'll be done, right?
It's probably Rob's probably got it in a metal box and is buried in his backyard, with some some drying agents and stuff, so he could dig it up in 20 years and sell them all for $250,000 each, sort of like a Marvel Superheroes Magazine #1 or something.
Well, I'm sure it's gonna come up because that's what people do. All right, go ahead, Dan.
I would like, and I know we're running maybe one final thing. I know I'm adding this. I would like you to pull up, if you could pull up G1 and the name of the.
Oh yeah, you guys were mentioning this. What was this about?
Okay, can someone pull up G1?
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. Hold on.
Okay, and the name of the hill giant. And how he's described. So
hold on.
Hill giants?
Yeah, exactly right. So whoever is the head hill giant, right, in G1.
Now my computer's decided to just take forever.
So it's a race. We've got Vic who's grabbing.
He's going to find the original version faster than I'm going to find it because.
G1.
All right, here's G1. I will share it. I will put it on the screen for people.
Okay, I found it.
Don't hurt yourself, Vic.
There it is.
There it is.
Mine's a tattered old copy here.
That's awesome.
And what I'm suggesting might not be anything new, just like the fuzzy polyhedrals hanging from the rearview mirror.
So where would I look for that? Do you know where it is?
It's pretty early on. That's all I know. Sorry.
G1. Are you talking the king or the whatever his name
king
was?
Yeah, he's like Nostra something, yeah.
Yeah, Nostra. Yep. Let's see.
Servants
the chief is a grossly fat and thoroughly despicable creature.
Nostra.
Okay, hang on. Let's first start with the name. What's the name?
Nostra.
Nostra. Nosnra.
Yep.
Now, Gygax was famous for doing what with names?
Scrambling them.
And not just scrambling, but wasn't it also for doing them backwards, like draw image? So backwards, what does this seem to look like? Not exactly, but what does it look like?
Arneson.
Thank you. Now describe. Now indicate the description of this guy.
He's a grossly fat and thoroughly despicable creature, sly and vicious, loving ambush and backstabbing. That's his description. Furthermore, the party has been cautioned to expect a secret force.
Well, but then you've said enough. So what do you think?
I think maybe Gary was making a poke at him.
So right? Isn't that odd? I mean, look, that's almost Arneson backwards, and that's I don't know. It's so against the Giants as well, like 78.
Oh,
I don't know what the
where is the publishing date on this?
Publishing date is 78.
78 and 81.
Yeah, 78.
Okay, so 78 is probably G1, right?
Yeah.
So if it was on 78, I don't know what the relationship was like. I'm just saying that I saw that name, and I know when you have weird names like that, Gygax usually does a lot. Well, not usually, but will do them backwards. And when I read that thing backwards, it looked like Arneson, and that just looks like a very strange description to me. I mean, a very specific description. It was just weird to me. So I don't know, obviously, and I don't know if this has been suggested or not, but it just struck me that this may have been, as Vic has suggested, a poke.
Right.
At Arneson.
I think, and that's it's not above him, is what your point is. So, all right, Vic, give us a D10. We're gonna roll this out, and we're gonna see you next 2 weeks from now, where you can give us the epic battle of the Yeti. Will history be rewritten? That's half our fun. Is.
Oh, fell off.
Yeah, it's a
5. Okay,
5.
I'll give it a 5. That's about
right.
It's about average. It's about average.
Like I send you guys some more stuff to give away, or you guys got enough?
Well, yeah, we could. You know what?
Yes, send more stuff.
We can always use some stuff. Like I said, just let us know.
I got a bunch of these made now, so.
Nice. Yeah, tell us. Send me your PayPal thing. Tell us how much it is, and we'll send it to you. We're so thankful that you send those. People love those. They love them.
I just sent them now. I am working on. Hold on here, since we're sitting here talking. You guys, did I ever show you this one? I've got tomorrow supposedly. I get. I don't know if the lights are.
I see lights.
Hold on. So tomorrow, supposedly, and this is a discussion on Facebook, that there are people wanting to put jewels in the eyes of these.
Oh, that'd be cool.
The groggy. So I ordered jewels, and they will be coming in, and I'll test those out and send you a picture. And I call this my version 6 after I've had to sit there with a CAD program trying to figure out how to wire these things up. It's one of those projects that takes forever to get done and do right. I think I went through 7 printings before I finally got it to be able to wire them up and stuff. So,
well, and it'd be nice, some kind of at some point. Oh, you raised your hand? Why are you raising your hand? I recognize the senator from Winter Park. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go for it, Dan.
No, I didn't have a question. I just wanted to raise my hand. I wanted to use the raise my hand function.
And do you got any of these? I don't remember if I sent you any of these.
I have a very early I have a first edition version painted.
Painted. But did I send you any in a mail the last time?
No.
All right.
I did not. So
I'll have to print some stuff up because on Black Friday they had 3D printing filament for really cheap, so I can print out a bunch of stuff.
People, again, we gave away Keep It Blood Red Falls, and we're giving away Carlos Entertainment, but people love the Groggies. That is so. When you gave that to us last year, it was amazing. It's in the place of honor still. So there are many like them, but we have the huh?
Behind the green screen.
Well, because it's just me now, it's hard to just have the whole. It looks kind of dorky for me to stand behind this thing by myself, going, "Hey guys." So, but so hopefully you'll be able to join us when we recreate for our holiday edition the famous Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and hopefully Bumble will get his revenge and eat the thing. But we're going to try our best, Dan. We're not going to let. Of course, if I'm Cornelius, I'm running. Probably, I'll probably feed the reindeer to the Yeti and run for my life. But that's me.
Well, our chance of surprise is so low with this stupid nose.
Right. Well, I assume Simon the elf. If he's by himself, 90 feet ahead, he's got a 1 in 4 chance of surprising. So he's gonna have to. You're gonna have to play Simon. You kind of look. You kind of look like an elf.
Shouldn't Cornelius be out front as the ranger?
He's tracking. He goes, there it is. There's the Bumble. He's in that cave. Go get him, Simon.
Oh, so he discovers Bumble urine. No?
There's a big pile of urine, Bumble urine right there.
It's a smoldering dung.
There's a smoldering dung. Looks like a half-eaten carcass. That's right.
It's like, get it.
We could actually get James. If James actually got a beard, he probably looks sort of like Yukon Cornelius.
That's right.
We could.
Gadzooks, that's some poop he put down there. That's right.
Oh, it's gonna be terrible. Oh boy.
So tune in for our holiday special in 2 weeks. So for Grog Talk, I'm James.
I'm Dan.
And who are you?
I left. Goodbye.
He left. So on behalf of Vic, we will see you in a couple of weeks on Grog Talk. Take care, folks.